be a way of him knowing he's got to get the surgery to get that medical red shirt, and then he could transfer out next year?
I mean, he could. I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll just. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so much unknown with what's going on. All I know is that he plans to stay in rehab at Auburn, and then we'll see. You know, I mean, who knows? Look, there's no telling what the quarterback room is going to look like after the season at Auburn. So, you know, it's whether it's TJ gone or like, who knows. So, I mean, Zach's probably going to weigh that as well. But it is a tough decision. I mean, he had an opportunity to play with TJ out. He had an opportunity to play this week, but you know, he just had to make the decision that going ahead and pulling the trigger on this and being healthy for the spring was what he needed to do.
This is his non-throwing shoulder. All right, have you been able to figure out if his right shoulder is healthy enough to play? I mean, you said he's healthy enough to play, so he could have played this Saturday if the coaches had chose to put him in the game.
Yeah, he was. He was prepared to play. The coaches, from what I understand, had told him to be ready to play. He took first team reps last week, as we reported. So, as far as I know, he was available to play. They just decided not to put him in.
So, quickly here, Hoke, the quarterback depth chart Saturday, Ashford QB, with the best of your guess, Ashford QB1, Gerner QB2, right?
Yes, and it's in the game plan that they both play. I should say both. We know Ashford's playing.
Well, of course
it's in the game
is.
plan that Gerner is playing, and I do expect him to play. I think Gerner is going to get his first playing time on Saturday.
That was my second. That was my second question. So 100% we see Gerner Saturday in your mind.
Yeah, and my mom, I'd be shocked if we don't. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just
Unless it goes that well with Ashford.
Does Coach Keesaw know you can play only one quarterback? You don't have to play two? I'm kidding. You don't have to answer that.
No, but is Finley going to be healthy enough to dress?
I don't know about dress. I mean, I know there's no plans of him playing. I don't know why he would dress.
Well, the reason I ask that is, I mean, we've seen multiple quarterbacks get knocked out. It happened to Pitt earlier this year. Who would be QB3?
Better be Tank. At least he gets some touches.
Yeah, go Wildcat. No, probably Sawyer Pate, who I think is from up there in your
Thompson?
area.
Yeah.
Thompson. Yeah. And then Trey Lindsey's there as well, but probably Sawyer Pate.
Wow. Wild day at Auburn.
Warriors.
Wild day at Auburn. Hoke, thank you, man. Great work on breaking it. People can read it, auburnlive.com. Hokanson has tweeted it at _J Hokanson. We appreciate the time, man. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right, buddy. Take care. Hokanson with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Let me do Talladega real quick, and we'll just wrap up what's been a crazy day at Auburn.
Okay, I've got a great tweet from Patrick real quick.
Yellowwood 500 weekend. Sunday, October 2nd is the Yellowwood 500. You can guarantee your spot there. Get your tickets. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget the Enfield concert with Chase Rice and Bailey Zimmerman. Sunday ticket holders get in the show free. Get your tickets now. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
I mean, and this is a serious question. If you're Tank Bigsby, at what point? I mean, you all think Tank has an NFL future, right?
Yeah.
It's to some form or fashion. At what point do you start thinking about your future?
It's hard to kind of guess anybody. Because, there are some guys that just love to play the game, some guys that love their respective schools.
Running back's the only position we count carries to where tread on tires that can shorten your career.
And here's the thing. Everybody says, but NFL's franchises, they hate to see you shut it down. History has not supported that thought. The guys have shut it down, and they've said, hey, we're fine drafting that guy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I'm looking right now, just projected running backs.
Yeah.
I don't see Tank draft-eligible guys in the top 20.
Yikes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll talk more about everything else going on in college football, including Auburn, tomorrow on the show with a fun Friday show. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget Bud Light Game Night tonight. Gabriel's in Hoover. We'll be there 5 to 7. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.
Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and Bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Yeah, you guys in the chat room will say Happy Football Friday. Yeah, and it is for most of America. But not if you live between these two ear holes right here. The worst, and I don't think it's close. We can open it up for debate, but I don't think it's close. The worst bad beat in Jimmy Landmine's history last night.
I don't know.
Oh, it's the worst.
What's worse?
It is the worst. It is the worst.
Then we can talk about what is worse.
The worst. If you missed it, here's what happened yesterday on the show. LT was building up that great Trubisky-Brissett battle, two franchises that do not want either one of those guys to be their quarterback.
It lived up to the hype.
And I had the West Virginia-Virginia Tech game scoring more points than the NFL game because I like college football. And we're sitting there, and it's all fine and dandy, especially when Mike Tomlin decides to go ahead and kick a field goal and Cleveland recovers the onside kick. Everything works out fine until they overrule a fourth down play that was a first down. Then they give it back. They add more time in the clock. Cleveland punts it away, and then they do the old pass it, and everybody's going to lateral it around all the way back into the end zone, and it's a touchdown, and it gives LT the win. That's the worst one ever. I think the one before that, Browning LT, was when the NFL refs were on strike, and they did the Hail Mary in Seattle.
One called touchdown, one called touchback, and you had...
He had Green Bay.
You needed the touchback.
I needed it not to be a touchdown. Yes.
You know what's funny about this, LT? And I was telling Dunaway this morning, he couldn't believe it. I went to bed when it appeared that they picked up the first down.
I knew you did because there was no reaction from you.
Because I was only watching. The game had long since been over. I was only watching to see if the Steelers would go down and score on that one drive. And then in standard Dunaway fashion, they settled for the field goal, and Cleveland's got 12 men on the field. And I initially thought, my God, that's going to be a first down. It's going to be enough yardage for a first down, or they're going to go for it. But they did the smart thing in going ahead and kicking. That was the smart thing to do. So they do that, and then when Cleveland, the onside kick goes out of bounds, and then I thought, pick up the first down. I'm like, well, this one's over. And Stefanski's even taking off his headset, handing it over to somebody. I'm like, it's over.
Just recapping.
So I immediately turn it off, go to bed.
Just recapping. Pass interference, it looks like he's going to give Pittsburgh the ball to one, which was going to be an easy touchdown, which was going to send it over. But then there's offsetting penalties. I thought I dodged a bullet there. And then they kicked the field goal, but, there's 12 men on the field. I thought I dodged a bullet there. Onside kick. We recover it. We being Cleveland. And I thought, okay, it's over there. First down. Thought it's over there. And then I'm with Brissett. It's 4th and an inch. Go ahead and go for it and end the game right there.
Why are you punting, right?
You punt it. Yeah. You snap it over the guy's head and lose the game. You can get it blocked and lose the game.
You could drop the snap. You get kicks around. I mean, anything could happen,
Yeah. So,
So imagine my surprise when I wake up this morning to the Next Round text thread talking about how Dunaway lost. I'm like, is my math that bad? I know Dunaway didn't lose. I saw the end of that game.
Yeah, Tripp's right, man. The landmine is a power unmatched by any witchcraft or voodoo. It is real.
It was impossible that you lost that.
Well, I'll tell you,
Impossible.
I've been on the right side and the wrong side of some of these laterals. I mean, this is a recent thing. Like the lateral, like the last 5 to 7 years has become a real thing at the end of games, and it scares me to death. I was on the right side last year, Florida State and Clemson. I was on the right side again last night. But I've been on the wrong side of some of these.
The worst one I can remember is Ohio State Northwestern.
Yeah, I was on the wrong side of that one.
That was one of the very first ones I remember.
Yeah. No, everyone that was tweeting at us last night, they were like, you just sat and you watched it happen, and you just knew as they kept going backwards and backwards, this is how Dunaway's going to lose this. This is how the landmine's going to happen.
Now, Charles is right. Let's don't forget we can blame Virginia Tech for only scoring 10 points at home against West Virginia's
and that
defense.
was what got us to this the bet. I said the better game is going to be Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and you were like, no.
It was 33-10. He was right. It was the better game.
I mean, West Virginia, Virginia Tech was a more enjoyable game.
Dunaway, it was 33-10. Virginia Tech was awful.
It was entertaining.
How was that entertaining?
They're scoring points.
Boy, the Brent Pry era is not off to a good start.
They weren't scoring points. West Virginia was scoring points.
Again, I'll go back to, and I forgot who brought the point up on the show yesterday. How did Virginia Tech let Hendon Hooker get away?
That was in the Players Club. Yeah. I overheard that. That was Gillespie said that, and he's right.
Yeah.
What did they not see in him?
I have no idea. Or, maybe he just wanted greener pastures, which he's got now.
Because I remember when Hendon Hooker went to Tennessee, I remember saying something to Dunaway. Dunaway was like, "Do you think that's even a big deal?"
I know. Is Hendon Hooker even going to? Is he going there to be QB2?
I know. Dunaway's
he
point
was initially.
No, Dunaway's point was Brown. He can't start at Virginia Tech. You think he's
can't stay on the field of Virginia Tech?
Start at Tennessee,
and now he's like, maybe the Heisman Trophy winner when it's all said and done. Just unbelievable. I mean, if Lance would ever carve out a little space at lanceslock.com, I'd be glad to give you my picks every day. If you guys want to do like my best friends do and just fade me in Vegas anytime you're out there, I'll be glad to throw my picks out there. I hit a few, but not a lot. LT texted me this morning. He's like, "Hey, I did 4 downs." I said, "I don't care. I give up."
Give up on life.
He did. Hey, the funny thing is,
Maggie's like, "Why are you dressed? You look like you're going to a funeral. You're in all black today."
I don't care.
Maybe I can't even explain it.
I am.
I have zero juice.
I'm over life.
Bad record 280. Don't care.
Where are we on stakes right now?
6 now. 6.
I mean, this one's probably either going to make you sick or a piece of it's going to get stuck in your trachea. I want to warn you, the way you won that one, I would be careful eating this steak.
Well, I just want to tell you this. I really think that I won our quarterback starting thing that you can't find.
Yeah.
But I do remember you had Oklahoma -7 against Nebraska in the offseason.
Yeah. Did you write that one down, Jim?
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. You think I had Oklahoma -7?
I think we're at 5.
Oh, that would be good, man.
Yeah, so now maybe you can smile.
That was very kind of you, Lance. That was very kind of Lance.
Wow,
a gentler side of Lance.
My only problem is Brown's Dolphins are so hot, and I'm all in on the Dolphins
Don't
the
even
next
start.
2 days.
He's got 2. If you missed the extra show last night, not only does Jim have a stake bet on Tua and a stake bet on the Dolphins game, he added a second stake bet on the Dolphins-Bills game.
For next Thursday night.
Dolphins-Bengals. I'm sorry,
what's so funny is he didn't even hesitate. Like the Bengals are going to be favored in that game, and he's got
stupid.
He just felt like it was just.
But you gave it to me at a pick. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but the Bengals
God, you screw me at every turn, don't you?
If you would stop and think rather than just try to get a reaction out of me, you would be better at this.
I did not think about that. I was trying for an easy win. Part of the show being brought to you by the great folks at Redmont Vodka, Redmont Distilling. A great way to wake up on game day mornings with our friend at Redmont. Always drink responsibly. Great for the morning drinks. What do you put on vodka in on morning drinks? You have Bloody Marys? Screwdrivers.
Locally owned and operated. Look, pick up a bottle this week. It's available in 20 states, wherever you're listening to us across this great country. Their aim, clarity, and taste, color, and smell. It's vodka perfection. Redmont vodka is made from corn, which not only makes it gluten-free, also provides that smooth finish, doesn't have a harsh aftertaste, 8 times distilled, available at your local package store, including pink package in the beverage place. Also, ABC stores. Ask for it by name. It is Redmont Vodka.
Seriously, did we talk about all that Zach's talking about over there in the extra show last night? Boy, if so, you guys should watch the extra shows sometimes, those Thursday night shows.
Yeah, no, I mean, LT, well, I mean, I think it has changed since Zach even realizes it has changed. Zach is commenting on LT trying to break the bars in a 24-hour period Guinness Book of World Record.
No, I did say I'm trying to.
No, but I'm saying it's changed since Zach even heard it. It changed again after the show last night.
Oh, we've got an incredible plan.
Yeah.
But we're not going to unveil it now.
Well, I think there's going to be several layers of approval before we can even talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
But not in our company, in another company.
If the pitch where we all sat down with some other parties last night, if we can actually execute it that way,
that's it will be incredible.
Yeah. It'll be madness, dare I say.
Yeah, it will be madness.
Zach says you also talked about how you've changed as a person. You explained it in the extra show. Did we get into that last night?
I think we did, Rocky. Didn't I just talk about how I'm trying to be a little more calm, road rage?
Road rage.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like I'm not trying to let the small things, and I think it spawned from we were talking about Lance's lock, how I used to. A Saturday would be completely ruined for me if I had a losing record. I'm just trying to put things in perspective now.
Yeah. What was that book you read? Because I saw it on my daughter's nightstand last night. My oldest daughter's.
The Firm?
Too Fat to Fish, Artie Lang biography?
No. It was the book about like your attitude and internal peace or something. What is the name of that book? The 4-8.
I don't remember reading that one, Brown.
I'll find it.
Maybe
No.
the Cliff Notes version.
Somebody gave it to you as a gift.
Doesn't mean you read it.
Yeah.
No, he told me he did. He was telling me about stuff that was in it. The 4-8 principle, the secret to a joy-filled life.
Oh, yeah. I read the first couple of chapters. No, but it changed me.
All right, I got the secret.
No,
I got it.
It changed me so much. I only read the first 2 chapters, yes.
Seriously.
But no, Anna Kate had that book on her nightstand last night. It made me think of you because I remember you telling me you read that.
Now,
yeah.
when we first moved into this building, I don't know if you guys will remember. I guarantee you Scott remembers this because we had barely known each other. And we were running behind or something, and I tripped over something in there, and I had a complete meltdown. I haven't had a meltdown, I don't think, since then. I don't know if you guys remember it. Scott, do you remember it?
I don't recall that one, Lance.
Wow. I mean, I was going nuts. I don't know how you weren't, because I felt embarrassed after the fact that I really didn't know you.
I've seen Lance have some meltdowns.
Yeah, but when's the last time?
It's been the Rams.
Have we had a paper jam lately?
Yeah, no.
We haven't had a paper jam
He really
lately.
doesn't get as pissed about the printer not working as he used to. I will give you that.
I mean, I really don't.
You don't. You absolutely
I don't think it messes up as much as it used to, though, either.
Well, no, but even when it did.
I would have to say non-Rams related. I really can't remember the last one.
So give me a little credit
I'm
there.
giving you a lot of credit.
I am trying to be a, I don't know, more calm person.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
Hall & Oates, I am not going to the wedding.
Yeah,
so that's
that
official.
got settled, during the show last night. Yep.
So not going to the wedding is the final verdict.
Yeah, and I'm excited about this weekend's card. I know everybody's looking ahead.
Well, next week is going to be good.
I don't want to be a Dunaway here. Hard to believe this is the last Saturday in September.
Yeah, but October is where we go. October, if I dare say, Lance.
Yeah, but I've got some 4 downs coming up, some interesting games out there where, I mean, we're going to see upsets. We saw it 11, 12, and 13 in the rankings all lost last week. We are going to see more upsets this weekend.
I also asked you this on the extra show last night. Have you settled on your double-digit dog that wins outright? We've had one.
Yes.
I think we're up to 17 consecutive weeks. So
Yes.
we'll do that later.
No, later?
Let's do it now.
Okay, right after he tells us about MyBookie, go ahead and tell us who that is. MyBookie.
Listen, MyBookie.ag, Dunaway. LT's about to give you a double-digit dog that wins outright, Jimmy, a barking dog. A double-digit barking dog. You don't back that dog in the corner, Jimmy. MyBookie.ag.
I wish you would. Your personality swings really get me. I wish you'd just play your role on the show. You're supposed to be the Mr. 100, calm.
Can you imagine if he, and again, this is something that surprises people. I've never played poker. I've never done cocaine. But can you imagine if Brown did cocaine?
No.
The mood swings.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
my
mean, it's
God.
up and down.
Oh, his butt would whistle.
Because the rest of him whistles all the time.
My God.
So you think I would be just like unbearable to be around if I
Well,
was high
I've just
on
been around people that do it, and it's just the
And it
mood
like-
swings
does
are
it-
crazy.
A lot of energy. A
a lot of energy?
Yeah.
Do I already have a lot of energy?
He didn't have that energy when we were just radio, but now the camera, he amps it up for the camera. I mean, you're very good visually.
Oh.
You really fill the screen.
That is the most vintage Dunaway move. I'm going to take a complete and total shot at him and then look at him and try to say something nice.
No, I'm just saying.
You're-
I hate it, but it looks good.
You're very good visually.
You fill the screen a lot by banging and waving arms.
All right. How much more boring would it have been had I done this? All right. Lance is going to give us his double-digit dog that wins outright.
Somewhere in between those
You
two.
potentially could play that at MyBookie.ag.
Oh, give him a real
code
ring.
next
Come
round.
on,
MyBookie.ag code next round. Week 3 of the NFL has Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, Mac Jones and Lamar Jackson, the young guns versus the old guard. Week 4 college football kick last night. LT's about to give you a double-digit dog that is going to win outright. Play it at mybookie.ag. Super contest, survivor pools, double deposit bonus when you use the code NEXTROUND. Next round is the code you use at mybookie.ag. This is not your grandfather's bookie, man. This is my bookie. Put your money where your mouth is. Get that double deposit bonus up to $1,000. You heard me right. You deposit, they double it up to $1,000. You start using that money right away at mybookie.ag. Code next round, mybookie.ag.
Oh, wait, I'm going to write 2 down.
Can I finish? Can I at least finish? MyBookie done away. If you'll listen to the show, mybookie.ag, code next round.
Did you not say that already?
I was saying it for the second time, as they like for me to do, at mybookie.ag, code next round.
Okay, under the table. Is this one of your answers? Because I know Brown wants to be surprised. Here you go.
Well, I mean, I think you know. I mean, I brought it up last night. Yeah, I brought it up last night.
Okay.
Double-digit dog that wins outright.
Let us know.
LT.
Tripp's already called it.
So go back to 2020. Kansas State had just lost week 1 to Arkansas State. The Wolves were howling.
Ooh.
And Kansas State looked like they were in a dark spot. They roll in to Norman.
In Norman,
as 3+ touchdown underdogs. They win the game 48-41.
Boomer!
This week, Kansas State, they're reeling. They're coming off that loss, Tulane. The ball's on Willie Fritz, 4th and 1.
Does he need
on
a
his
wheelbarrow?
own 24. He does. He goes for it. With 2 minutes to go in the game, they seal it. They're able to run out the clock. Kansas State, their first loss of the year. Now they bounce back. Oklahoma's only a 12.5-point favorite. Again, Oklahoma looked really good against Nebraska. I think Nebraska's completely tapped out. This Oklahoma thing, it's still cooking under Brent Venables. Kleiman will have these guys ready to play. The only thing that scares me is Adrian Martinez. But,
right. Yeah, and Paul says it right there. I don't trust Adrian Martinez.
But Adrian Martinez last year against Oklahoma was good.
Uh-huh.
Nebraska almost beat Oklahoma last year. I think Kansas State plays extremely well tomorrow. I think Kansas State is your double dog outright winner.
Ooh, double-digit outright winner, Kansas State, Oklahoma. Be tough on Brent Venables. A lot of people talking about how great Oklahoma is right now. Well, I need to check with Huard. He may have that game.
Brock Huard on the show later today is what Brown's letting you know there. I would almost take a stake with Oklahoma and give the points on this one.
Okay. 12.5.
12.5.
So LT thinks it's going to be a double-digit dog winning outright, and you're willing to take the other side to cover. That's a big gap right there.
It really is. How do I ever lose these?
I don't know, Joe.
That's a New York Butcher Shop steak bet update right there, brought to you by the great folks at New York Butcher Shop, where I'll be coming by and seeing them very, very soon to pay off some of these
Yeah,
things.
I might get you to pick some up. I might call ahead and have everything packaged for you. I mean, that's the thing that Jim and his great staff do. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop this weekend. Pick up the finest and certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Make your neighborhood smell better. Grill the New York Butcher Shop. And don't forget those huge deli sandwiches for lunch, catering options for your next business lunch meeting with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations to serve you, Cobb Heights and on 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
So there you go. I have Oklahoma giving the points. You guys are looking for a play if you want to fade Dunaway. Just a handful of the fade Dunaway T-shirts still out there, too, if you want to go to nextround.store and pick those up. So Oklahoma, I guess, would be your answer, LT. The highest-ranked AP team, they're number 6 that you think goes down this weekend. Brown, highest-ranked team you think goes down this weekend. You can't use Oklahoma as an answer. Georgia's got Kent State. Alabama's got Vandy. Ohio State has Wisconsin.
Nope.
In the past, that looks like that would be an interesting game, but it's been – we talked about this on the Players Club yesterday. It's been forever since Wisconsin's even beaten Ohio State.
I'm not a Wake believer, so I'm not going to go Clemson-Wake either. I think I might go Southern Cal.
Any Maryland, Michigan?
Nah,
You're
I
going to
think
go
Michigan
Southern
will run
Cal.
Maryland. I think I'll go Southern Cal.
Number 7 USC at Oregon State.
Yep.
Nah, I really, really like USC to kill them.
I
on that
would
one.
love to be able to watch that game. I guess I'm going to have to utilize the 1 week free thing on that deal and watch it because I do think that's going to be a really good game, Lance.
Again, I'm inviting you guys over, no wedding.
No, I can do the free pass.
Okay.
But thank you for the invite.
No, I'm not going to close the door. I'll just see where I am at that point of the day.
And by the way, I don't get nearly as animated on USC games, but I will tell you this, Dunaway, I would not take that bet because I don't want you to jinx the Trojans. Caleb Williams might go out for the year.
Yeah. Well, the Braves fans say, hold my beer, LT. I mean, it happened to us a couple of series ago. All right, we'll get into what was said last night by Brian Harsin and talk to Henry To'oTo'o coming up as we move throughout the morning here. Brock Huard is with us at 10 o'clock. Henry To'oTo'o next segment.
Brock does have Kansas State, Oklahoma.
Brock Huard is doing the Kansas State-Oklahoma game, developing news. He'll be with us at 10 o'clock. We'll do the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 at 10:25. That's up live for you right now at nextroundlive.com. You can jump in and play the B-Dub Pick 3. Lunsford is back from Las Vegas. Is he on his microphone back there? He's not. He is not back there. Oh, he is back there. Lunsford, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Thank you.
You won. Congrats.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
He won a poker tournament while he was out there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
At the same table, he cut his best friend and former coworker of ours, Tim Milton's throat.
Oh, wow.
Sending him packing, Bama on Bama crime in Vegas on the poker table there. Do you yet know how many winners we had in week 3 on the Pick 3?
I will let you know.
Okay, it was 67-40. If you can find me that number before we get to it in about an hour.
Is it in the shop?
It'll be in the shop next hour.
As
Yeah.
somebody that used to handle the Pick 3, Dunaway is absolutely undefeated at doing this to you, Lunsford.
I just wanted to know.
Absolutely undefeated.
No, of
I'm
course he said, I'll get you the games and all the info on Wednesday night, and then it was Thursday every week, and then this week it was Tuesday.
But I got it to him Tuesday this week because he was in Vegas. I knew he'd have some downtime maybe between winning tournaments to put it up for us, and it's been up since Tuesday. NextRoundLive.com. Go play the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3. We'll start doing that. Henry To'oTo'o is up next. The show being brought to you today in part by our friends at Gutter Cap. Fall temperature is going to come someday. If not, the leaves will just give up and die off the vine at 100 degrees. Either way, it's going to go into your gutter unless you're capped it with Gutter Cap.
Yeah, Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. It will keep the debris out. You can eliminate gutter cleaning forever. It's backed with a lifetime warranty. Stay off the dangerous ladder. Don't get on the roof. You slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. Remember, on weekends, you want to relax. You want to watch football. You don't want to do the dirty, dangerous job that is cleaning the gutters. Right now, 45% off the retail price for all of the Next Round viewers and listeners. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212, or online, guttercapbirmingham.com.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
Hey guys, football season's here, and you know you're going to spend a lot of Saturdays and Sundays watching the games. So go ahead and make the call to Blakely's Bouquets. And when it comes time for those special occasions like homecoming or fall formals, Blakely's is the answer too. Trust me when I tell you that Blakely's will go above and beyond with unique custom designs. Order ahead or get speedy same-day deliveries at Blakely'sBouquets.com. That's Blakely'sBouquets.com, or better yet, stop by the store on Oxmoor Road in downtown Homewood. Blakely's Bouquets.
You hear a lot of interesting phrases while playing golf, like, I think you're on the beach, or the classic, you gotta hit it, Alice. One word you're sure to hear right now at Bentbrook Golf Club is wow. Brand new carts with complimentary GPS, and the bent grass greens are so consistent, you just might drain a few more putts, Alice. Tee it up and find out for yourself. Book around today at bentbrook.com or call 428-1999. It's better at Bentbrook.
In a word, it's chaos.
You'll have to see it to believe it. Whoever said that must have been talking about Talladega. It's a place where chaos mixes with speed, where a town turns into a city, and a weekend becomes a lifetime of memories. It's a tradition like no other.
What a wild finish.
NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, October 1st and 2nd.
Bubba Wallace, the winner at Talladega.
Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386, or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures.
When you have questions about your urological health, count on the healthcare experts at Urology Centers of Alabama. With 16 locations and a team of specialists across Alabama, you can find help you need from a trusted UCA physician. Get started at urologycentersalabama.com.
Double the fun and more ways to win at Victoryland Casino and Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play thousands of your favorite games featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. The new Ride plus $50,000 cash giveaway is going on right now. We're giving away a Ford Bronco, Jeep Wrangler, and $50,000 cash. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drawings October 21st and 22nd. Come win at Victoryland Casino and Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Stay up to date with the Next Round at nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like the Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from the Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. NextRoundLive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make NextRoundLive.com your homepage. That's NextRoundLive.com.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Alabama SEC play Vandy nighttime, Bryant-Denny Stadium. I'm just saying words, no sentences there, but it gets me fired up. The Tide back at home, and we're ready to talk Alabama football with Henry Toa.
He joins us each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. It's the Next Round presented by Bud Light, who reminds you to decide to ride before you ever take that first drink. You make a plan, decide to ride with our friends at Bud Light. Henry, what is up, man? How are you?
What's up? Oh, I'm doing good.
So the most pressing question we have for you this week, has Will Anderson finally gotten his money from the turnover pool?
I sent him the money. I don't know if anybody else sent it. I sent him $20.
He's a hard guy to tell no, I would imagine.
I sent it because if it was me, I would have wanted my money too. So I definitely sent it because I was the first one to say it. So I had no choice but to pay up.
Okay, so observations. Me and Rockstar were talking that's one of the smallest ceiling fans we've ever seen.
I mean, what, are you taking a shot?
No, I'm just asking, wondering, is that a swing set to your right, and what are you wearing across your chest?
Jeez.
See, this is a chair, so this is how I clean up. I usually clean up and I put the chairs up when I usually mop and broom. And then this is a little bag that I wear. Keep my keys, my wallet in here whenever I walk around.
Is that a Louis?
See, it is, but it is.
NIL, baby. NIL.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. You can't get anything past us, man. Yeah, not at all.
I love it. But as a ceiling fan, is that just is it just a dimension because it's further back? Is that a normal size ceiling fan?
No, it's definitely a normal size ceiling fan. It probably looks small. Hey, man, you trying to get on my fan, man?
Toa versus LT downtown at Powell this weekend.
Yeah, I won't even show up.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you mop. You consider yourself really a neat freak? You like things clean in its place and all that. Do you have some sloppy teammates?
See, I'm pretty sure we got some sloppy dudes, but I'm definitely a neat guy. I like cleaning up. I was raised, my mom, she used to wake us up and make us fold our blankets. So it's just been a habit for me. Come home, clean the house before practice. So we couldn't do nothing until the house was clean. So that's definitely a habit of mine now. And I just don't like things dirty. So
no, does that translate to football for you, though? I mean, I think it's awesome you're that organized. I mean, to have the bar stools up on the thing. I'm like really OCD, but does it help you just be, I don't know. Does it help you between the lines?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you just build a habit kind of thing. And then, not necessarily comparing cleaning and football together, but it's a habit that you create. And I think it was a good habit that my mom instilled in me. And like I do the same thing in football. I do some and it becomes habit. And I just do it over and over and over again until it's just second nature.
Alabama's Henry To'oto'o with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. It is the next round presented by Bud Light, who reminds you to decide to ride before you ever take that first drink. Make a plan. Have a plan early when you decide to ride with Bud Light. I saw where Nick Saban last night on his coaching show was talking about, and I know you're not a defensive back, but I know you've had to absorb some of this. He was talking about how if there is one way you get your butt chewed as a defensive back is that you clap your hands after a bad play, because he says that tells the opponent too much. What can you tell me about why Coach Saban gets so upset with that and how aware you are of it?
The biggest thing for Coach Saban is playing the next play. When you play football, it's never a perfect game. It's never, you do everything right. So you don't want to give anybody the advantage of taking another shot at you or letting them know that, you just busted that coverage. So then they're going to try to attack it again. So that's definitely one of his pet peeves is if you mess up, buckle your helmet back up and get back up and play the next play. And that's kind of our motto is, not looking at the scoreboard, not looking at what play they just had, control what you control on that play. So that's definitely one of his biggest motto. Whenever he sees us with our head down or clapping or slapping our helmet, he'll chew us out on the sideline.
When you watch film of this Vanderbilt team, Mike Wright is a very athletic quarterback. I don't think you guys have seen something like him, at least to this point. You'll see it again next week with KJ Jefferson. But when you look at this Vanderbilt team, how improved are they from what you've seen last year from Vanderbilt?
Yeah, this would be my third year playing Vanderbilt. We didn't play them last year. So they're definitely a better team. Definitely locking in on what they have to do. They're a well-rounded team. We can't overlook nobody, and we respect them and respect their game and everything that they do. But they're so much better. They're so much more physical. Everybody knows what they're doing on offense. They draw a lot of good things up on offense. I haven't really watched their defense, but, their offense does a really great job of finding a way to get the ball down the field, trying to score, trying to get their athletes in space. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us, and that quarterback does a great job of leading them.
You'll hear some people who talk for a living say, the mobile, physical quarterback has always been the Achilles heel of a Nick Saban defense. But, that was like a decade ago. He's adjusted the way you guys play and even the way you guys look. What challenges does a quarterback like Mike Wright bring to the game this weekend, a guy that can make plays on the edges? What do you have to do to make sure that you're sort of keeping him hemmed up?
Yeah, that kind of just goes back to like 11 guys on the same page. Having edges to the defense, everybody pass rushing together, not giving him lanes to escape, having everybody, do their job and stay where they are, stay in your gap, play good gap integrity defense. And when it's time to pressure, put your hand in his face, make him, stuck in the pocket so that he doesn't leave the pocket, collapse it on him and make things hard for him. And when he does break and when he does, run out of the pocket and tries to make play with his feet, gang tackle, get the ball off him. He's a quarterback. Quarterbacks don't like getting hit. So definitely tagging him up, hitting him up, and trying to get the ball off of him.
You guys are giving up 8.7 points per game. What is a realistic goal, you think? What is your goal for this Alabama defense? You'd like it to be 0, but I'm asking a realistic goal. What is that?
Every week we go into a goal of, 13 points or less.
Yeah.
That's 13 points or less. So, definitely trying to keep that average down. That's kind of a huge thing, just 13 points or less. But us as a defense, we don't want them to get in, like you said. We do everything that we can so they don't, cross that goal line. So that's definitely going to be huge.
So 6:30 kick, what will you do up until game time?
Eat a bag of Skittles. Probably we'll go to the movies tonight. Every night we go to the movies. But as far as like tomorrow, I'm kick back chilling, listening to some music, eating some Skittles, probably just going over some plays, watching a little extra more film. But besides that, I'm in the bed, laying down, getting stretched out, probably on some Normatex, and that's about it.
So what's the movie tonight? Do you know already?
I don't know. They usually try to surprise us. They try to surprise us.
I'm not even sure what's
Are you going to be excited if you ever go see the Woman King?
Yeah, Woman King is #1 in America last weekend.
Is it? Is it? We so here. I don't even know what's going on in the world.
It's kind of a good way to live. Let me just go ahead and tell you.
Stock market's down. Gas prices are dropping. We'll keep you updated.
Olivia Wilde's with Harry Styles now.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, is that the smallest air vent I've ever seen? I'm kidding.
I think that's it for today, guys.
Henry, man, thank you for your time, man. We appreciate
you, Henry.
it.
Take care.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, buddy. Henry Toa with us on the JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline. The segment presented by our friends at Bud Light, who remind you decide to ride. Before you ever take that first drink, have a plan in place. That's how you decide to ride with our friends at Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch.
All right, part of the show as well brought to you by Michelson. Here's our Michelson look ahead. Brock Huard coming up at the top of the hour. Brock's on the Kansas State-Oklahoma game this weekend. We'll talk to him. The Pick 3's coming up. Later in the show, Tyler Watts with us at 12 noon in studio to talk about the Tide. And then Rockstar's Playhouse. He's back in person, live or recorded today, Rockstar?
We're looking live today, guys.
A live version of Rockstar's Playhouse coming up later. That's our look ahead brought to you by our friends at Michelson.
Hey, look, to find out if LASIK is right for you, it's one simple phone call. I made this phone call 2 decades ago, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson truly changed my life. I've got 2015 vision better than 2020. I wore the contacts for about a decade. If you've been procrastinating, thinking about finding out if LASIK is right for you, it is a simple phone call, 969-8100. Ask for Amy. She's going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Call today, 969-8100, or visit them online, MichelsonLaserVision.com. Dr. Jen Michelson, Dr. Mark Michelson, in my opinion, the best in the business. Go see them. Make the call today, 969-8100.
Always enjoy our conversation with Henry Toa. And Mike Wright he's a difference maker for Vanderbilt. He at quarterback for Vandy, and then the guy who is the quarterback for the Kansas Jayhawks, Jalen Daniels, are two guys who have sort of changed the way those teams look. And by the way, punched a ticket for both of those teams getting over 2.5 wins early on, right? So both of those have gone over their Vegas win totals because of great quarterback play for both of those guys.
Now, look, I think there is some sustainability when it comes to Kansas because the offense can outscore some of their opponents. I don't think you're going to get that with Vanderbilt once they roll into this SEC schedule. I think they've got another potential win with Missouri coming up. But Mike Wright is a much improved quarterback. Not only can the guy run, he's the second leading rusher right now. He's averaging over 8 yards per carry with 4 rushing touchdowns. But he's only thrown 1 pick the entire year, in 65 attempts. That's pretty good. I mean, this is un-Vanderbilt-like at quarterback.
And for Jalen Daniels at Kansas, we've yet to hear anybody – everybody's talking about Leipold, and what he has done with that team. And you can't say it hasn't been him at all because he is a program rebuilder, and in his 2 years, they even were competitive last year. They're unbeaten now, and they're sold out at home with Duke coming to town, and they've beaten good teams in West Virginia and Houston, or at least quality teams, unlike Duke, who I think their wins have been over Temple and teams like that.
Yeah, they controlled Northwestern for 60 minutes, and not that Northwestern's any good, but still it's a team that beat Nebraska week 1.
Yeah, but here is this Kansas team. And I was listening this morning on Dusty and Danny on my short drive in, my 7-minute drive into work, but they were talking to a former Kansas player, and he is like, yeah, we're really proud of the program. And, nobody is talking, but Les Miles had to reset the program when he was there. Now, Les looked like it was a failure when he was there, right? But apparently when he got there, Charlie Weiss and everybody before that had gone so heavy on the JUCOs that they really didn't have freshmen and sophomores, and Les signed 2 full classes of freshmen who are all still on that team, who have now worked their way into being COVID juniors or seniors on this team, and that includes Jalen Daniels, who was a Les Miles recruit.
I mean, it's got to be hard to recruit freshmen there, and the JUCO, if you learn nothing else from the Netflix show where the hot tub coach.
Last Chance U.
Yeah, but the hot tub coach guy, he was at a Kansas one, right?
Independence.
Yeah. If you've learned nothing else, the JUCO football in Kansas is pretty good. Yes. So it's probably much easier to build from that than it is to try to go convince a kid from a Dallas area high school, hey, why don't you fly 800 miles to Lawrence, Kansas and play in the middle of nowhere in front of nobody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably was a ton easier to sell those guys on JUCO.
Yeah. So let's sort of set the table for what, is happening right now at Kansas. You get a coach who has a little bit of young talent when he gets there, and he's able to mold them into the Kansas team. You've said it a couple of times this week, that Duke-Kansas game is going to be on one of your TVs. Pretty exciting day in Manhattan.
Well, I mean, look,
Lawrence.
Yeah, in Lawrence, it's a sellout, which you never see in Lawrence. It's 2 undefeateds. It's one of those 11 o'clock early sleepy games. But the offense, if you haven't watched them yet, they can score a lot of points. And I do want to mention something that Paul brings up. He's asking if Mike Wright's healthy. He didn't play against Northern Illinois, and A.J. Swan did. A.J. Swan played extremely well. He's a true freshman.
Little quarterback battle there.
Yeah, I think both will play. Yep. It's change of pace.
Yep. A.J. more of the traditional passer, right? And Mike is a do-everything quarterback. Something to keep an eye on in that Vandy, Alabama game, 6:30 coming up tomorrow night over at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Your day starts, of course, with that 11 o'clock window, which includes a trio of interesting contests. Michigan is hosting Maryland, 11 a.m. on the Big Noon kickoff. Clemson and Wake Forest, 11 a.m. That one's on ABC. Missouri, Auburn, straight out of game day on ESPN. We'll hear what Brian Harsin said last night about the Zach Calzada situation. He was on, it's not Hey Coach, it's Talking Tigers.
It is Tiger Talk.
Tiger Talk, the Auburn Coaches Show version.
Talking Tigers.
Talking Tigers.
How was that one there?
Is that a white tiger? It is. I couldn't tell by his voice. All right.
Yeah, so we'll hear what Brian Harsin said last night coming up. But remember, if you're heading to any of the games this week, your place to get the best in game day gear is right there at the Pants Store. We have the Pants Store now in Auburn, where you can get it at the new Pants Store open in Auburn, Alabama, adding to the great locations in Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville. Another one coming online soon in Hoover. Don't forget, you can also get great Alabama-Auburn game day gear anywhere you're listening or watching us at pantstore.com, pantstore.com, and follow them on social media. Pants Store. Game day hats, all your Yeti accessories, sunglasses, game day polos from Antigua, Taylor and Mick, Johnny O, and Gentile. And the women in your life, the females in your life, specifically designed for the female body, game day gear there at the Pants Store. Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, now open in Auburn and coming to Hoover soon. It's our friends at the Pants Store.
All the stories important to us are in one place. Catch the morning rounds each weekday at nextroundlive.com.
This hour of the Next Round is fed by Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Visit Culver's for all your tailgating needs this football season. From chicken to burgers, find it at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Done building your family? A vasectomy is a safe, simple, effective option for birth control. When it was my time to take the snip, I used my friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, and there's no better time for a vasectomy. It's a great reason to be off your feet and be on the couch during the game with the wife's approval. It's a quick, in-office procedure covered by most insurances. Urology Centers of Alabama, 16 convenient locations. Call 205-922-SNP. That's 205-922-7647. Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
ERA King has the new Guaranteed Move program, which lets you compare instant offers with open market offers so you can choose how and when to sell your home. You can close with a quick cash offer, no showings, and no open houses, or you can explore multiple offers through a traditional listing. Available only through ERA King. Guaranteed Move puts you in control. Visit movewithking.com or text MOVE to 35620. To learn more, that's MOVE, M-O-V-E, to 35620.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short-notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. When it's time to move, there's one name to remember: Crocker Moving Services. For all your moving needs, both residential and commercial, and they'll even pack for you. See all they offer at crockermovingservices.com. Owner Eric Crocker is a Marine, a Birmingham native, and a veteran of the Iraq War. Crocker Moving Services will use made-in-the-USA equipment, made-in-the-USA supplies, and veteran-operated whenever possible. And they'll move you anywhere in the continental United States. Check them out online right now, crockermovingservices.com.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At nextround.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting nextround.store.
We'll get a good Cowan Equipment poll question out in just a second as we continue on this fun Friday before Week 4 of the college football season actually started last night with West Virginia handling Virginia Tech. I didn't check the score on Georgia State. Did they get off this? They got smoked.
They got smoked, and Jamie Chadwell, the Coastal coach, took some shots at them after the game, talking about them being basically a dirty team. Yeah.
So Georgia State now 0-4?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Georgia State's 0-4, which is surprising. They've got some talent on that team. I mean, that's the Georgia State team that took Auburn to the wire last year. Tucker Gregg's back at running back. They just, they lost 41-24, and Coastal now is 4-0 for the third straight season.
Yeah, so we're rolling into the Friday night games tonight. That includes Virginia and Syracuse up at the Carrier Dome. That'll be an interesting game. You can watch that this evening. Part of our show being brought to you by our friend Dr. B, making LT's hair. It was the talk of Gabriel's last night on our Bud Light game night was LT's hair. Just the locks flowing through there. Nothing could get caught in that hair.
Hey, with age,
everything could get caught in that hair.
Yeah. For most comes hair loss. When it started to happen to me, I asked around. Everybody said Dr. Beckenstein is your guy. I set up that consultation with Dr. B and his team. They performed the genetic testing to determine the best course of treatment. It's cutting edge. Dr. B, the only one in Alabama that offers it. He can target an individual's treatment based on their genetics. He can formulate compounds and prescriptions to their profile. This is a game changer. After I got my results, me and Dr. Beckenstein had that virtual meeting. Went over my options. We chose the non-invasive laser treatment, which will help increase the thickness and health of my hair. Make the call today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. Call today, 205-319-0316, and tell him the Next Round sent you.
Some of the worst hair in television history, Jason Alexander, 63 today. Happy birthday, Jason Alexander.
I would take his hair for his bank account.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I sort of have his hair, so.
Would you want his build and his hair and everything?
No. He's also like 5'5", probably 5'6".
You know what jumps out at me is those, I can't remember, it's some restaurant commercial that's running in the football games. And
he's in them?
No, Danny DeVito is.
Oh, yes.
I love Danny DeVito.
But yeah, God, he is so small, though. You could just tell in those commercials. Yeah.
So I never liked It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've only seen a couple. They yell a lot. It's a lot of yelling.
I'm not a fan of that show. I'm a big Danny DeVito fan, and just from film and his producing credits and just what he's done. But I saw an interview last week with him on how that cast played an April Fool's joke on him. You got to see the interview. It is incredible.
Oh, I bet that is. They were early on, and I can't believe, are they still on? Yeah.
Yes.
Early on, first couple of years, I thought that was a really intriguing,
it's a
funny
hugely
show.
popular show. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. Eli Drinkwitz is the head coach at Missouri, coming to Auburn. One injury note for the Missouri Tigers as they make the trip to town. No Elijah Young, the running back, got quite a few carries for Missouri. He's not going to play, and he's out officially. They hope to get P back, P-E-A-Y, back this weekend from an injury, so he hopes to play this weekend as they come and take on the Auburn Tigers. We mentioned this earlier this week, but I wanted you to actually hear Eli Drinkwitz, who is very thankful that Brian Harsin saw something in him back at the Arkansas State days.
Obviously, I know Coach Harsin very well, indebted to him and his wife, Kess, and got 3 great children. You know, Coach Harsin gave me an opportunity and believed in me when not very many other people did, and really kept me in college football in 2013. And so I'm very appreciative to him for that, and will always be indebted to him in the opportunity that he gave me and my family to stay in college football.
Yeah, so that's the backdrop to what's happening this weekend at Auburn. And I think we've talked about this week, that this is a crucial game for the careers of both of these guys at their school that they're at right now.
It really feels that way. I mean, I got to think, I will look overall. What do you think Eli Drinkwitz is? I mean, he's got to have a...
Well, I think it's he's about 5 under.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 500 in the 2020 year.
He was.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's about 500, and I think the 2020 year when he played an all-SEC schedule was probably his best coaching job.
It was 5-5 that year. Yeah. I was about to give you the conference record as well. Obviously, those are all conference games, but he's 13-13 overall, 8-10 in the SEC. And this is just his 3rd year. So
that's sort of what I expect Missouri to be.
And that's what I was about to ask. I mean, what do you guys expect a Missouri coach to be, 500 or better?
Yeah, I brought this up before. We're never going to see Gary Pinkel.
No, again. I mean, again, that was another – we talk about these guys all the time. Gary Pinkel made you forget how tough the Missouri job was.
Yeah, and
he was that good.
Missouri's trip to the SEC championship was in a very different SEC East
2 of
to
them.
me.
Yeah, 2 trips, but yes.
Very different now, even though one of those, if it had won, would have played for a national championship.
Correct, yeah. He had them in that situation twice, which is a massive credit to Gary Pinkel.
During our show yesterday, Zach Calzada, that story broke that he was going to have season-ending surgery. We'll let you hear what Brian Harsin said last night on Tiger Talk after Brownie tells us about the great folks at NASCAR.
Jimmy, they're coming to the Talladega Super Speedway. Today is your final chance, by the way, to win tickets. NextRoundLive.com/Dega. NextRoundLive.com/Dega. All you got to do is answer a question. We give you a NASCAR driver, and you get to pick who their favorite football team is. Get it right. We're giving away Saturday and Sunday, so you got 2 shots to win there. 2022 Yellowwood 500, Sunday, October 2nd at the TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. You can go there, call 877-GO-TO-DEGA, and find out about the way you reserve your place in the garages, for the garage tours in the infield, in the camping area, and in the stands. And also, don't forget the Saturday night infield concert. I heard some Bailey Zimmerman on the way into work today.
Did you really?
And it was a song I'd listened to before, and I didn't realize that's who it was because I laughed at myself thinking it was a female. Bailey Zimmerman opening for Chase Rice right there at the Talladega Superspeedway Saturday night. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Brock Huard at the top of the hour. Brian Harsin last night talking about Zach Calzada, where he is on his recovery, and the whole quarterback situation as they get ready for homecoming down on the Plains.
Can you kind of clear up some stuff with regard to your quarterback as you get ready for this game on Saturday?
Yeah, well, I think the one thing, this has always been a policy, but, we talk about guys that have season-ending injuries. We don't talk about every injury.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's just a lot of information out there. And these poor kids, they're just trying to focus on getting healthy if they're dinged up, trying to prepare themselves for the week. And, that becomes the storyline. And really the storyline for us is what we're trying to do to get prepared for Missouri. And, but those guys have handled it well. I really do. I think those guys have all taken it in stride. And we talk about the noise, and you got to block out that. And, unfortunately, it's impossible for 18 to 22-year-olds to be able to do those things. And so that's what we deal with. We probably spend more time on that than a lot of football that we want to be doing, unfortunately. And, it's not our advantage to really have those conversations and to give information out and those type of things. So when we go out there and play, we'll have a quarterback on the field, and he'll play well. And that's really our advantage, to leave it at that. And, I know people want to know that, but that's for our team, and that's got to be something that's respected, and I hope that is.
I get, when he said those poor kids, I think he stopped short of saying those poor kids get harassed about, their status or whatever. I thought that's where he was going with that. I was going to make the point. One of those poor kids, it was his dad that broke the news. It wasn't, anybody in the media. His dad reached out to a podcast Wednesday night and said, hey, I want to come on your podcast. It dropped yesterday. We played a lot of it, and that's where he said that Finley's out. That's his dad now. Auburn hasn't announced that. And look, if that's Harson's policy, that I'm only going to say it's a season-ending injury, that's fine. A lot of coaches have had that policy before.
Yeah, so really not talking Calzada, even though the report is he is done for the year with season-ending surgery, and not talking about TJ, Robbie Ashford, and maybe Holden Gerner, the expected quarterbacks this week for Auburn in that game. We'll talk about everything going on in college football, the SEC and around the country outside of our state with Brock Huard. He's coming up on the other side. And could Kansas State end up beating Oklahoma? And there's a lot of single-digit home dogs out there this week, which could make for a topsy-turvy upset weekend. LT sort of hinting at that a little bit. Part of our show brought to you by our friends at Odie's, a great place to enjoy Friday night football and Saturdays as well. It's Odie's.
Yeah, and live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff, Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village. It's a Birmingham institution. Incredible food from Rodney Davis, the award-winning wings, delicious burgers, my personal favorite, the Diablo sandwich. Stop in, see that great staff all weekend long. Sit outside on that patio, enjoy ice-cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. It's all going on at Odie's Tavern in Crestline Village.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
This hour of the next round is fed by Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Visit Culver's for all your tailgating needs this football season. From chicken to burgers, find it at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
By now, you know I love the game of golf and getting on the golf course as much as I can. Ryan Brown here from the next round. Simply put, Ballantrae Golf Club in Pelham is one of the best public golf courses I have ever played. It's always in fantastic condition. The people out there are so friendly. They just treat you like family. They're happy you're there. And the pace of play, they keep it moving. Those are all things that are important to me. See them for yourself. 620-GOLF, 620-4653 to make a tee time in Ballantrae. Also improve your game with a professional staff of Hal Brown, Jerry Applegate, Jay Chambers, all great teachers for Ballantrae Golf Club, just off I-65 in Pelham.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another college football season. And welcome back to another season of Fansville by Dr. Pepper. That little slice of heaven. Every man, woman, and student section drinks Dr. Pepper like their life depends on it. It does. Where the air is filled with the scent of charcoal grills, and the streets are marked with yard lines. Practical. Where the current trending baby names are Blitz, Spike, and 2-point conversion. Adorable. And recruitment starts before you're born. It's a linebacker. Where NFT stands for Not Fun Tailgate, and DIY stands for Dr. Pepper is Yummy. It is. It's the place off-season fever dreams are made of, where the right to life, liberty, and barbecue is written in the town's constitution. Saucy. And the current forecast is sunny, with a 90% chance of the skies opening up and raining down delicious droplets of Dr. Pepper. Grab a bucket. Get ready for anything to happen this college football season on Fansville by Dr. Pepper. The one fans deserve. Grab some today.
At Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, you can now drive the 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulia TI, the Italian sports sedan of your dreams, starting at $499 per month plus tax with $4,999 down, plus first payment and title due at delivery. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo of Birmingham, 1837 Grants Mill Road, or Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com. Financial lease, 10,000 miles per year, WAC, MSRP, $51,490. Stock numbers Q0059, Q0068, or Q0074. 4.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at One Man and a Toolbox. One Man and a Toolbox has provided professional handyman services since 1997. Honesty and reliability are qualities that embody every one of their employees. From residential to commercial, One Man and a Toolbox, they've got a background to help you with almost any project. I've used them multiple times at my home. Give them a call today. Get that free estimate, 205-823-2111. That's 205-823-2111 or online, onemanandatoolbox.com. Hey, Lance Taylor to tell you about my friends at Wayne. Summer is ending, which means fall is here. Fall means football, but don't forget about that yard. My yard is looking fantastic thanks to our friends at Wayne's. Summer ending and lawns soon be heading into dormancy. Yards of the month are made in the fall during proper shutdown of the growing season. It is important to get the correct nutrients and pre-emergent in the turf and root system to ensure a weed-free, lush lawn next summer. Call 866-WAYNES1 or call Waynes.com. First month free on the EnviroLawn service from our friends at Wayne's.
Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386 or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
The Buffalo Wild Wings pick 3 coming up at 10:25, where I'm a whopping 3-6. So get your pencils ready so you can jump on those winners. Coming up very soon, Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, and the whole gang up here live on a Football Friday. This hour brought to you in part by our friends at Bromberg's, in business for almost 200 years.
Yeah, hey, if you're thinking about popping the question, do a couple of things. Make sure you get your ring from our friends, the Diamond Specialists at Bromberg's, and make sure you don't plan that wedding during the fall. Family owned and operated since 1836, Bromberg's established such solid reputation as a fine purveyor of quality diamonds as well as jewelry, timepieces, and gifts. 2 great locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit. You can also view their online store today at brombergs.com.
7 o'clock Saturday night, Fox 6 here locally. You'll see Kansas State at Oklahoma, a game of much discussion. Earlier in our show today, Jason Benetti and Brock Huard will be on that game for Fox. Brock is with us now. You guys love him. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Brock?
Well, good morning, men.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing on this Friday?
Doing fantastic.
Good.
I will pull the curtain back. There's been we think it's 17 straight now, double digit, 17 straight weeks. A double digit dog has won outright. LT thinks it is Kansas State this weekend. A lot of our viewers,
I hear the grunt.
Ooh.
Well, a lot of our viewers don't trust Adrian Martinez.
Yeah, there's probably good reason for that. I think even his head coach right now is questioning not necessarily his belief or his trust, but just his decision making. I mean, not very often you hear, and Chris Kleiman's an awesome guy. We chatted with him in our meetings yesterday. Do you hear a head coach say, man, I need my QB to let it rip? Fear of failure's got to be flushed. We got to take more chances because, boy, that Tulane game was tough tape to watch offensively. That was a crew that totally let a defense dictate to them what they were going to do. And I think, unfortunately for Adrian, there is so much scar tissue over 4 years of starting. Remember back in the day when Bill Parcells, when he was evaluating quarterbacks, he loved to have 30, 40 college football starts.
Yeah.
Like many things in college football, I think that's changing. I think that's changing. I think the Will Levises of the world, the C.J. Strouds of the world, a kid that I just saw, BYU, Jaron Hall, who I think is going to just rocket up the draft boards. I don't think it's advantageous to be a 4-year starter anymore in today's college football. Bryce Young may be the outlier there. Obviously, he started and going to be a third-year starter, and he's awesome. But I think we're going to look back here pretty soon at this data and say, yeah, I don't know. If you're starting 40 games in a couple different programs in college, there's probably a few more warts, a little bit more scar tissue than there is the upside of talent.
Okay, just sticking with this game, though, just bear with me for a second.
Okay. Yep.
I think you agree Kleiman's a really good coach.
Very good.
Deuce Vaughn is a unbelievable, underrated player.
Yep.
Adrian Martinez, just going back to last year against Oklahoma and Norman, probably played his best game.
Yes.
And so maybe he's got some confidence. Coming off the Arkansas State loss a couple of years ago, they go into Norman, they beat Oklahoma as 3-touchdown dogs. I know these are different teams, but the question I would ask you, is Oklahoma fully cooked under Brent Venables? I mean, it looked like it last week, but that also looked like a Nebraska team that had tapped out.
Well, what we are seeing differently, and we had Oklahoma week 1 against UTEP, and the uncommon effort was a theme throughout because it was a theme in that building the entire day before. What you are seeing is a level of want-to on defense that's just different. Just different. And it's what Brent, and when you get a defensive-minded head coach, and again, in just conversations yesterday with Kansas State, it's obvious to them as well. I don't know. I've got to find a new word for violent, because it just kind of rubs people the wrong way, I think, sometimes. When I use that word, coaches kind of squirm a little bit, players, I'm sure fans do. But, I mean, it is that's the essence of what he's brought. But Oklahoma has been an athletic, fast defense in the years against that Kansas State team. Those games you referenced where Kleiman's beaten them 2 of the last 3 times. They've been athletic. They've been fast. They've even recruited pretty well defensively in Lincoln's later years. They were never violent. And this crew right now at all 3 levels of their defense, and Nebraska felt it. All 3 opponents have felt it. They've beaten all 3 by 30-plus points. They're bruised. They're beaten up going, yes, I kind of like playing the old Lincoln. Those were fun games. Those were 40-35. Those were, we could at least score. This isn't any fun getting hit with the level of ferocity they're hitting right now.
Well, can you just say physically aggressive? I'll be listening tomorrow night.
Give me better
physically
than that.
aggressive.
Give me better than that. We can do better. Just like I've texted Ryan this morning, we can do better. Like we can be on top of details a little bit more, Ryan.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, Brock was getting his link. That's really more on Rockstar than me, Brock. But
no, don't point fingers. You point a finger, 3 point back at you. Okay, don't ever do that.
That's right.
Somebody's been working diligently on that laptop today, Brock.
I got a lot going on in here, Rockstar. I'm sorry.
I mean, what we have here, Brock, is a quarterback who just threw an interception. He's blaming it on the receiver running the route.
Bad route by Rockstar.
No
bad
question.
Route,
now, I will say this, Lance, back to Adrian. If I'm coordinating him and Colin Klein is a first-time play caller down there at K-State as well, I am running him 15 to 20 times. I mean, that may sound outrageous, but that is where you would have a numbers advantage. That is where he and Deuce have got to carry, or at least between those two, they have got to get 30 rushing attempts.
Well, he had 17 against Oklahoma last year.
Correct. So if Deuce gets 20 and he can get 10, and I'm talking about designs like QB power, QB draw, the Tulane QB, or not Tulane, the Kent State QB did do some damage with his legs against Oklahoma, right? He did run around. That game was a little bit tighter, and the QB was a difference maker for it. So if you're going to infuse a level of want to and tell your quarterback to play with less fear and to be aggressive and let it rip, especially an athlete like Adrian, he's got to run the ball a ton Saturday night.
Yeah, I think terrorizing will move the synonym needle the wrong way.
I like that. Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
vicious and threatening are the other 2 that pop up. Vicious and threatening.
Kind of like vicious.
And then other words I don't understand.
Right,
oh, wow.
See my board right here?
Yeah,
right? There's got a lot of notes.
Yeah, vicious is good.
Yeah, here we go. I'm going to add vicious right here. And do you want to be quoted on that, Jim Dunaway?
No, please don't. Because
don't write it down as viscous.
Okay. Yeah, please
no.
please don't, because
vicious.
I don't want to get, I know how the world is now. If Vicious doesn't come off the right way, I don't want to be part. I don't want to be part of it.
The last time we were supposed to be quoted, I compared Drake London to Mike Evans, and the guy that went on the broadcast the next day, and this was 2 years ago, used it and did not give me credit. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, I do remember that.
What?
Yeah, same guy that I texted the answer to an Aflac trivia question to make him look smart. And he threw the answer out like he had known all along and then texted me back, thanks, bro, had no idea. And I'm like, well, don't give me a shout-out or anything.
No, but he told me on the Friday before he was on the USC broadcast, and I forgot
Come on,
Klatt.
Klatt's got to be better than that.
It was not Klatt.
And I said, man, I'm telling you, man, this Drake London kid is going to be a superstar. He reminds me of Mike Evans, just with his body control, his size, and he's like,
Come on, McElroy. Be better than that, Greg. Jeez.
I would like to say I'd like to say Herb Street was fantastic though last night on the prime game.
Hey, you know what? I'm looking at these games this weekend, and you did, Ryan, text me and say, hey, what do you think of a double-digit underdog? And I will tell you, I think as I look at these slate, if I was doing a college football show like you guys are today, this slate of games to me this weekend has two distinct styles. It has a style of head coaches really planting their flag and saying, we have arrived. There's a bunch of head coaches. Billy Napier kind of did that week one, right? And it's been a little bit of a rough go. He's got a chance to plant a flag this weekend. Up in my neck of the woods, both coaches do. Dickert at Washington State's a 6.5-point underdog at home to Oregon. Huge win at Wisconsin. Enormous win. One of the more enjoyable broadcasts I've done, just tapping into transparency and emotion and fun that we had there. And Kalen DeBoer faces a Stanford team, is a big favorite, handling praise, handling all the applause, handling all the platitudes that they've gotten after beating Michigan State. So there's a bunch. Lincoln Riley going up to Corvallis. I think they're a little more banged up team than what maybe you're hearing and reading. That's been a terrible place for the Trojans over the years. So just a bunch of head coaches being able to plant their flag. That's one. And I think the other theme are a few of these programs going to be different. Going to be, because we love to say, remember Clemson for all those years? Oh, they're Clemson. And then all of a sudden, Dabo just cut that off at the knees. It's Tennessee going to be actually different. So that game has both of them, and that's why it is must-see TV, I think, this weekend as well. But is Tennessee actually back? Or, we hear about that with Texas, and I mean, goodness gracious, there was some decades there of some incredible run. Are they actually different than what they have been in the past? Indiana, Tom Allen, was that 1 year a fluke? That 1 year during the COVID and everything else, was that a fluke? Or are you going to go? And that's an intriguing line. Of all of the lines, Cincinnati, 16.5.
Yeah.
What do they know that I don't know? Because Tom Allen's crew plays football. Tom Allen's crew is very, very physical. I know they, too, have been very pedestrian and safe and conservative on offense. But that line feels just off to me. And then ultimately, row your boat. That's a fascinating game as well. And can they go on the road as favorites to a just salty Mel Tucker in Michigan State and get it done? So to me, this is the first weekend. Week one had some huge heavyweight title matches, but this one's got a lot of meat on the bone in those two categories in particular.
Yeah, brutal or savage, some of those games are, as I continue to read synonyms for you there.
Thank you. Thank you.
The
savage. Let me add savage as well.
The Tennessee.
There's a savagery of this Oklahoma defense that Jim Dunaway on my hit with the round. I like it.
Tennessee, man, we were talking because we watched Virginia Tech last night. What a great home environment they have. But we were sitting there going, how in the world does a quarterback like Hendon Hooker get away from Virginia Tech and he's what he is at Tennessee? Is that just style fit? You're with the right coach, the right offense, better receivers. Is that what happens there?
Yeah, all the above. All of those things are involved. And I would say Tennessee is in my top five. Top five of favorite places to call it. I'm not saying that. I'm not crowning them as a top five team this year. We'll see after this weekend. But as far as places to go on the road, you started the question with environment, and then I was lost from there because I thought back to the many years that I had been down to Knoxville and to Tennessee, and so enjoyed that experience. just from the food to the people to the culture to the burnt ends. Oh gosh, they were really good, and just an incredible time there. So how does Hooker go to a different place and look like a totally different guy? Absolutely. You find the right style that fits you. That is a system that is pretty simple, that is not overly complex, that creates a lot of primary receivers and targets open, and then ultimately uses his tremendous talent physically and with his dual threat nature. Yeah, that's a fit. And we see it in football at all levels, junior high, Pop Warner, high school, college, pro. That position, when fit appropriately, you can change guys.
So I still believe in Utah, and I want to go back to the other side of this game in week 1. And Anthony Richardson completely taking over that game in the second half. And then watching Anthony Richardson in back-to-back weeks look so pedestrian and make so many mistakes. And I saw today Mel Kiper's got his updated big board. He's still got Anthony Richardson going in the middle of the first round. How could a quarterback be this bipolar?
New system, new people, the unknown of week 1, right? We always say this, like week 1, again, at the NFL college level, hard to bet, hard to do, because you see weird outliers that you look back at the end of the season and go, what in the world was that? How did Buffalo lose in the opening week last season? How did Jacksonville beat somebody in the openings, week a couple seasons ago, Gardner Minshew, and then lose 15 in a row? Because the opening week, when you've got new people and new systems and new staff and everything else, that opponent doesn't have as much background. They don't know. They could try to adjust in game, and I thought Utah did, and Utah had every opportunity to close that game out and win it down in the swamp. And I think we'd be looking at them very differently. We'd probably be talking about them as the team that's going to be the 4th team in this playoff, or at least a further legitimate contender. So I would put some stock into that. The week 1, there was some unknown factor. All of a sudden you see some tape, and all of a sudden you make a QB uncomfortable with the things he's not great at. I think I hear that more and more in college football on the road this season and seasons past than I certainly did at the beginning of my career. It is because of all these RPOs and everything QBs are able to do, and speed and space, and all of the layups that quarterbacks have in college football, easy gimmies, that these coordinators have gotten pretty smart to say, you know what, how can I possibly make him uncomfortable? And then how can I possibly take away his strengths? And in Anthony's case, just his legs, and make him play the game between the tackles more than I do outside of it, damaging us with his physical prowess.
Before we wrap up, Brock, one more question for him. I want to remind you, Alabama Power will remind you got options reaching them beyond just phone or mail. Check outage alerts. Receive text or email notifications when you experience an outage. alabamapower.com/alerts. We associate Brock so much with the Pacific Northwest, but he makes his home now in Denver. And I'm just curious, one NFL question before you go. Nathaniel Hackett has seemed at best overwhelmed as an NFL coach.
3, 2,
I've never
1.
Listen, Brock, I'm a Dolphins fan, and I've never seen fans react that way. What is the reaction like there in Denver?
Well, when the Messiah was to arrive and take them out of their 6 years in the wilderness, and he was supposed to be dropping, dimes from heaven like manna, and he was supposed to be the one to turn the whole thing around, and all of a sudden they look no different the first 2 weeks than they have the last 6. Totally lost, totally dysfunctional. I mean, just a mess in decision making. Week 1 was a book out of how not to do PR. When you screw up, own it.
Yep.
We are actually a pretty forgiving society. We may not forget everything, but when people own it and say, yeah, but he doubled down. Oh, 6. Yes. We want to get to the 48 left hash, 64-yard field goal.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
You're out of your mind,
yes.
and he doubled down on that. Now, this last Monday, this being Nathaniel Hackett owned it. Said, yeah, I got to get better. The efficiency, kind of been a theme of this conversation with you guys this morning, of first timers, right? New programs, new systems, new routines. How do you all get on the same page faster and faster and faster? And they've certainly got to do it, because like the 3 of you and everyone I've talked to this week in this town and all across the country, nobody, and I mean nobody, had seen a home fan base troll their own players in that way that Broncos country did. And oh, by the way, the whole country will get to watch it Sunday night. And I believe 5 more times in prime time is Russell and the first-time head coach. So they better figure it out.
All right, 7 bells Saturday night, Fox 6 here locally, Kansas State at Oklahoma. You'll see Brock and the crew there on that one. Brock, it is always fun talking with you, man. We greatly appreciate the time.
Love it, boys. Have a great weekend.
All right, buddy, you too. Take care. Brock Huard with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Next week's link already in your inbox there, Brock. All right, always fun catching up with him. Always fun catching up with Rockstar about his guy as well.
You know who doesn't need a link is Adam Mestre. You know, it's the almost 4,000 agents in the Birmingham area that have recorded a sale in 2022. Adam is in the top 8% of those agents. He's a third-generation realtor, born and raised in Birmingham, so he knows the area. You want a guy like Adam to find a house for you. Why rent when you can buy? Buying a home is the largest financial decision you will make, so make sure you are using an agent that you can trust to help walk you through the process. Call Adam Mestre for a free home evaluation at 205-422-0589 or visit mdrealtyllc.com. At MD Realty, we make house calls.
All right, Forster, let's do a couple of things. Forster has so much good stuff back there. First off, Bet Online betting odds to buy the Phoenix Suns. Now, I told Brownie last night, Jeff Bezos of Amazon is the betting favorite to get this. The over-under, by the way, on how much the team will sell for is $2.75 billion.
Look, it's a good team that's going to be relevant for a while.
And a reminder, this guy's getting punished by selling this team, right?
That's right. He's getting punished. $2.75 billion. Jeff Bezos, 2-1 favorites to win it. Bob Iger, who used to be with NBC back in the day, I believe, or maybe with ABC and Disney. He was
Disney.
He was a media guy. 3-1 odds. Go down the list first. Elon Musk is 8-1. Look on down. You see Bill Gates. Oh, wait. Donald Trump at 50-1 and LeBron James at 50-1, Kanye West at 66-1 and Barack Obama at 500-1.
Just ridiculous.
I mean, I want to from Lucas Walton on. Who's Lucas Walton? Is he not?
It's got to be one of the Walton family.
Okay, from the Walmart.
It's got to be for the Walton.
Yeah. Rockstar. When I say the Waltons family, who am I talking about?
It's Bill Walton's bastard child.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Did Luke change his name?
Lucas.
Yeah, but I mean, Donald Trump owning an NBA team or Kanye West owning an NBA team. That would be hilarious.
It would be entertaining.
Yeah, probably wasted money there betting on them. Bezos at $2.75 billion to be majority owner.
Who is Laureen Powell? Does anybody know that?
It's part of the Powell family.
Yeah, it's part of the Powell family.
Colin Powell's
Colin
Powell's granddaughter.
Oh, that is Steve Jobs'
ex-wife?
I think that's right, yeah.
Wow.
Or not ex-wife, but widow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think they divorced, but he passed, obviously.
Well, why'd she drop his name?
I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you that. I don't think she's remarried.
Rich and available, LT is what that is.
Oh, yeah. What do you think
Artie
she's
Moreno's on there. He's having some problems. He's got to get rid of the Angels right now.
Yeah, 10-1. So chances he can't dump the Angels and buy the Suns.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Interesting there. And one more, if you will. Let's go to the NFL yardage leaders right now in the National Football League.
Is this passing yardage?
Yeah. Have you seen this tweet sent out?
Oh, I haven't seen the tweet, but you don't think I look at who's leading in passing yardage right now?
I mean, Roll Damn Tide. If you'll take a look at the 1 and 2. Oh, we don't have that. It's a picture that was sent out from Bleacher Report. And it's Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa walking off the field together after the 2017 national championship win over Georgia. And they're now 1 and 2.
I did not realize. I did not realize Hurts was 2. Obviously, I knew Tua was 1.
Yeah.
And Waddle and Hill were the 2 leading receivers in the NFL. But I did not realize Hurts. He is going to make me eat a lot of crow.
Yeah, me too.
Never thought that guy could be an NFL quarterback.
Me either. He looks so good this past week. Fun NFL night started last night with a wonderful landmine loss that we'll talk about for years and years to come. The football continues this weekend, including the big Bills and Dolphins game, all coming up later this weekend. Part of our show today being brought to you by the folks at Champions Boxing. If you're looking for a great way to get back into shape or continue a different way of staying in shape, you can do that with Champions Boxing right there on Highway 119 and Highway 31. The corner there, Purple Onion, is the landmark you can look for there. Right behind them, you'll find Champions Boxing inside their gym there. Great fitness way there, using the competition and fitness training of the sport of boxing, helping you reach your fitness goals. Call this number, 205-358-8176, 358-8176, or just stop by and check them out, or you can see more on their social media platforms on Facebook and other at Champions Boxing AL. This is not a fight club. It is for ages 7 and up. Great way to train with 6 USA Boxing certified trainers. It's a USA Boxing certified gym. Again, that phone number is 205-358-8176, 358-8176, or just stop by and see them at the intersection of Highway 119 and Highway 31 behind the Purple Onion. It is Champions Boxing. We're back with our Pick 3. We'll get that rolling right after this.
Follow the Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Guys, let's talk about the new season. Dove season is here, and the team at Nichols Outfitters is ready to get you ready for the hunt. 12, 20, and 28 gauge shotgun shells are in stock, and all the brands that you trust. Demand is at an all-time high, so we encourage you to drop by soon to stock up for the season. And of course, while you're there, check out our amazing selection of the finest shotguns in one of Alabama's largest showrooms. The staff is excited to be back out on the hunt, so drop by soon. Nichols Outfitters off exit 242 in Pelham or online at nicholsoutfitters.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
This is your home. You want a brighter future and a community that's united by action and commitment. And united starts with you. We are United Way. And for almost 100 years, we have served people from all walks of life. That's our united commitment. United starts with you. Give to United Way of Central Alabama.
Vulcan Tire and Automotive is hiring. If you want to take advantage of joining in with a local growing company in the automotive service industry, this is the opportunity for you. Hiring oil and tire technicians and more experienced mechanics. If you've got the talent and the desire, there is a spot for you at Vulcan Tire and Auto. Stop by one of their 4 locations and the manager on site can walk you through the pay scale, great benefits, and flexible work schedule. Get paid to build your future in the industry. Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com. There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with walk-ons.
Start your day on our website, nextroundlive.com. The morning rounds give you the top links to the stories you need to see before going to lunch with your buddies. At nextroundlive.com, you can also watch and listen to the show live, or download our top podcast and shop in the Next Round store. New arrivals, new downloads, new shows, new contests, all on one website, nextroundlive.com. Make it your homepage, nextroundlive.com.
All the coaches I talk to believe you win championships in all 3 phases of the game. And the same is true with my friends at Wayne's with pest protection, termite protection, and lawn care. The website is callwaynes.com. Remember the promo code TNR for big savings. With the cold weather coming, the pests will be trying to break through your defense and come inside. You can save $60 right now off of Smart Pest by using that promo code TNR. So go online to callwaynes.com or call the phone number 866-WAYNES1 and remember the promo code TNR. Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386 or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures.
I was just talking to LT and Brownie there, and you heard Brownie giving the final answer there. Final answer? That there are so many games this weekend that I just can't get a feel for. And two of them are in the Big 12. Baylor and Iowa State, Texas and Texas Tech. Just so hard to get a feel for those because Quinn Ewers, is he going to play? Could he play? Where's Hudson Card's health? What can Texas Tech do there in Lubbock? That's an interesting game.
I just, the Quinn Ewers storyline is fascinating.
Yes.
It's just such a different team, it appears, different team with him versus without him. And with him, they seem like they could potentially be a Big 12 contender.
Yeah. Josh pointing out it was total yards, not passing yards there for Tua and for Jalen.
Tua still leads in passing yards. I don't know about where Jalen would be.
Yeah. So very, very interesting there as we get to another NFL weekend. Before we do the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3, let's do Rockstar's View. Brought to you by our friends at New Life Art.
Yeah, bringing memorable sports moments from Daniel A. Moore for over 40 years. And right now, their week special for Alabama Vandy. Buy one, get one on all unframed 8x10 collegiate classic prints. No code needed. The offer will expire 9/25. Shop now. Go online, danielmooreart.com.
8:55 on HBO Comedy tonight. All you have to do is watch the first hour of it and turn it off. It is The Heartbreak Kid from 2007.
I would agree. First hour is great. And it's another one of those Ben Stiller movies. I don't like Ben Stiller, but I like this.
Jerry Stiller's in it. It's really, really great. And you got Flo from Progressive. She makes she's a wife.
She's in a lot more stuff than you realize. You didn't
really
small bit part.
Huh?
Like she's got bit parts in movies?
Yeah, more stuff than you realize. Like you never would notice it without her doing the Progressive.
Yeah, and she was in the Goldbergs.
Yeah, in the Goldbergs and Mad Men and that. Yeah.
And we got a new movie on Amazon Prime called Memory. An assassin for hire finds that he's become a target after he refuses to complete a job for a dangerous criminal organization. It stars Liam Neeson, who is 70 years old.
Wow.
Isn't that essentially the storyline of the Bourne movies?
He does. These are all his movies now. It's
No. But I'm saying that storyline is basically what's in the Bourne movies.
Well, I don't know.
Has anybody seen the movie Warrior with Tom Hardy?
I've not.
No, I've heard.
It's
I know
MMA. I was going to show it to the boys tonight because we're looking for something new to watch. And the reason I bring it up is I saw over the weekend Tom Hardy, he put himself in a jiu-jitsu tournament and actually won the tournament.
Like almost anonymous thing where he didn't do any publicity about it. I'm just going to do it as myself, and he actually won the damn thing.
Yeah, which is pretty incredible, man. Yeah. He looked ripped up. But I've heard Warrior's a good movie. Zach says it's a good sports movie, so.
Well, also in theaters tonight, since James Cameron doesn't have enough money, they're re-releasing Avatar today. They're re-releasing it.
I was so confused because I thought Avatar 2 was in the works.
It is in the works, but it's been...
So the one that I'm seeing the commercials is not a new one?
They're re-releasing the first one, and then they're supposed to be releasing the new one probably by Christmas. And then one we have not heard a lot about. Do you guys know who Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles are?
Yeah, a little bit.
They're a couple now, and she broke up with Jason Sudeikis. You know who he is? Well, anyway, she's got a movie called Don't Worry, Darling coming out. Big-time drama because Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be in it. Lunsford can explain the whole thing, but that premieres tonight.
Apparently, the Rotten Tomatoes are like 36 on this. Is that true?
There's a lot of negativity about this movie.
Yeah.
Somebody spit on somebody, right?
Harry Styles spit on
Chris Pine.
Captain Kirk.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the extent to which I care about that story.
Behind the scenes drama from Harry Styles.
That is the ultimate disrespect.
What, spitting on someone? Has somebody ever done that to you?
No.
What would you do?
I mean, again, I'm trying to grow up a little bit. I'm trying to be passive. Mm-hmm. But spitting on you is a different story. I don't know.
Beat the hell out of him, wouldn't you?
I mean, I'd give it a shot.
I mean, unfortunately, Roberto Alomar had a pretty good career, and that's all you really think of when I say Roberto Alomar.
Romanowski, too.
Yeah, Romo.
Those were the two that came to mind for me. I hate to do this to you at 10:31.
You want me to start drinking?
Central Time. Yeah, but Steve in our chat room over there, it's already flown by so many comments, but he doesn't believe we really have Stella in that tap back there.
I mean,
are you new to the show, Steve? We pull beers all the time.
It's not as if, though, Lance pouring a Stella out of that's going to convince him it's actually Stella.
Why would you not think it was Stella?
It's Baja Blast.
I mean, I'll start.
Sugar-free.
I'll tell you what. I'll start at trash. 11:20.
Okay,
I mean, I've got a long weekend in front of me.
Okay, so 1 hour from now, Steve, come back in.
I am in practice, though. Somebody asked me that. You need to start getting ready for this. And I'm like, I've been getting ready for 35 years.
Yeah, you're talking about for the
to break the world record.
Yeah. I don't think Guinness or Guinness. What is it?
Guinness.
Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah. Well, I thought it sounded like a beer there for a second.
Yeah, it did. Yes.
The Guinness Book of World Records. I don't think they know who they've messed with now. They can keep raising that number up.
You know what's going to be bad?
You're going to Aaron Judge them, aren't you?
Awaken a sleeping giant.
Is I will break this, or if I go in to try to break it, and then like halfway through, I just completely tap out.
Ooh, that is going to be very sad.
Yeah, that would be like when Evel Knievel hung it up.
That will never happen.
All right, Rockstar, it's time for the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3. You got the song, man. Hit it.
Pick 3, it's time for the pick 3. 3 for you and 3 for me, that equals a pick 3. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick 3. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick 3.
And the Pick 3 is always brought to you by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, 12 great locations in the Birmingham Central Alabama area. I was actually at the 150 location after our Bud Light game night last night, and I got talked into trying the mango habanero boneless wings. Fantastic. And it was like
that's so good.
I'm telling you, since we did the hot ones, I can handle spice. I didn't sweat last night. It's their third down from their hottest.
Wow.
Yeah. And it had some pop to it. It was really, really good. But look, almost 20 years in the market, serving up the absolute best sports and atmosphere and wings around. Place to be for football Saturdays and Sundays. And don't forget, the takeout is available through the Buffalo Wild Wings app. Actually went there last night where I could watch the first half of Steelers-Browns on Amazon Prime, and when I got home, didn't have an issue.
Oh, what a night for Lance.
It was a great night.
Didn't sweat eating spicy, and he was able to make Amazon Prime work.
Yeah, and he beat me in a steak, which is, the days that end in Y.
Now, my ass hurts today, but that's a different story.
Hey, let me tell you, buddy.
Perfect night, right?
Choir. Champagne every time it does it to me.
Steve, by the way. Steve says he's been podcast and audio over the years, and he's now with us on video.
Hey.
So, Steve, welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in, Steve.
Welcome in.
That is done always real look.
On the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3. Why would you take a shot at me right there?
I'm sorry, Jamie. Never take a shot at me.
Nice hair. Yeah. LT wannabe starter kid on the hair there.
You can't handle it. He cannot handle it. All you got to do is take one shot at Dunaway. He says they take shots all day, and he gets his feelings so hurt.
I think what would be great in the offseason is if you two just take a road trip together. We'll just keep the.
We did that way too much in the AM
We'll put
days.
GoPros on you guys.
Way too much in the AM days. He's so annoying to travel with.
I will tell you, let's on these pick 3s. Interesting set of games right here. Let's go to the Brown pod here. Again, you pick a pod, and you have to pick the 3 games in that pod. If you go 3-0, you get a ball in the bucket. We have, I think, the best set of prizes in our grand prize. We'll tell you about later in the year. At the end of the year, you only have to win once. 3-0 once to be in the drawing, but the more balls you get in the bucket, the better chance you have at winning, just like in life. So keep playing each week. More chances, more chance to win. You know how it works there. 3-0 gets you a ball in the bucket. The Brown pot, if you choose to play that one, a series of games here that are tough. We talked a little bit about Oregon and Washington State. Tough game, though, for me there. Maryland and Michigan, there's something about Maryland and Michigan in this game here that I think Terps can get it, maybe not win outright, but get inside the 17.5.
They might be able to, but I mean, here's a trend or an angle. 0-6 against the number are the Terps versus ranked opponents since the start of 2020. I had them last year on a Friday night against Iowa. They got completely walked off the field. Talia threw 6 picks.
Right. Well, that's the problem. You can get
he's the X factor.
Yeah.
6-2 this year already.
In the Brown pod, you've got Bo Nix, Talia Tungavaloa, and DJ Uiagalelei. You can get good DJ, good Bo, good Talia, or bad all 3 of those.
By the way, all 3 of those guys on the road. And you look at Michigan, they've covered 6 straight against Maryland. They're 11-3 against the number as a favorite since the start of last season. And they're looking to score 50-plus in 4 straight games for only the second time in program history. Only time they did it before, 1903.
Do you think we'll see 2 quarterbacks at Nebraska a lot this year? Or do you think, at Michigan a lot this year?
No.
So
it's about to be J.J. McCarthy.
You think it's going to be McCarthy because he's had the better numbers. Cade McNamara has been okay, but McCarthy has been the better of the 2.
It's interesting. McNamara was the guy that got him to the college football playoff. This is kind of the Jalen Hurts without Hurts transferring into him.
But I looked earlier today, McCarthy's 30 of 34. I mean, the guy barely has let the ball hit the ground.
Yeah, and just think about with Corum running the football at Michigan, how open some of those receivers can be, some easy throws that you can have there using the play action. Interesting game to see what Maryland can do in the Big House. Oregon and Washington State, do you have faith that Bo can do it in back-to-back weekends?
I don't, and I look at this Washington State defense, and going back to what Brock Huard was talking about, one of the forgot how he described it, great atmosphere and a very interesting, fun game to call. Washington State's defense is only giving up 12.5 points per game. It's a really good defense. I think they can give Bo a lot of problems, and this is a big moment for Cameron Ward because he's finally on national television. He's going against an opponent that just ran BYU off the field. Washington State 10-2 against their number, their last 12 against Oregon. So they've been good in this spot against the Ducks. I lean Washington State. I don't love this game. I'm not going to put it on my card, but I do like Washington State a little bit.
More of the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 as we continue to roll on in this segment and this hour. That is brought to you in part by our friends at JohnsonRVCenter.com, where we were last Saturday to start off our Saturday show. Remember, we're back live 9 a.m. Saturday morning with our kickoff show on our video platforms. You can join us at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for an hour of football conversation. Johnson RV can get you on the road to your favorite tailgates.
Boy, absolutely they can. And right now they're closing out the 2022s there at Johnston RV, so it's a great chance as they make room for the 2023s for you to save, like travel trailers starting as low as $139 a month. Great selection of fifth wheels starting at $329 a month, 10% with approved credit. The Johnston RV family, they are just great people. We thank them for hosting us. You can go see them for yourself. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Can Clemson pressure Sam Hartman to disrupt what Wake is trying to do? And, does Clemson... Do they run the ball as good as they need to run? Is DJ good enough? Is this the weekend we see a change at quarterback if things aren't going well? What do you expect in that game?
Well, here's what I expect. Going back to last year, Wake Forest won the Atlantic, but they lost by 21 to Clemson because Clemson ran it down their throat. Kobe Pace had 191 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Will Shipley had over 100 yards, a couple of touchdowns. They outgained Wake on the ground 338 to 38 last year.
Are you kidding me?
And Wake has even got more away from running the football this year with Sam Hartman, and I think it's putting pressure on him. I watched almost that game in its entirety last week because I had Liberty plus the points, and Liberty forced four turnovers because they knew what was coming. Clemson's defense is elite. If Liberty can force 4 turnovers, watch out for Clemson's defense. Wake's lost 62 straight games outright to top 10 teams. That's the longest streak since 1936. I just, under pressure, Sam Hartman's 5 of 13 with a pick. He's been sacked 6 times. I just don't see Wake winning this game. The last win they had against a top 10 opponent was 1946 against Tennessee.
And it's at Truist Stadium, I think is what they go with, Truist Stadium there in Winston-Salem. I got to imagine there'll be as many Clemson fans as Wake fans there. Clemson travels well. Wake is just not a great football program, great football school or whatever. But so I don't think home field is that big an advantage for Wake.
Yeah,
there.
The only reason
if
I'm
this
not
were in a more hostile environment, I might see the upset.
Yeah, I will tell you though, go on and jump on this game. I won't play it because it's an 11 o'clock. And, the first week of the season, I played a couple of 11 o'clocks. I lost them. I got away from it last week, had a 6-1. I'm just not playing 11 o'clocks anymore for whatever reason.
Ever again.
Those. I'm going to try my best to not, unless I just find some kind of hidden gem. Clemson, if it was a 2:30 game, I would lay the 7.5. I'd be all over the Tigers.
Paul says it's a matchup problem. The slow mesh offense that Wake uses plays right into the Clemson D hand. Charles says, I'm sticking with my preseason prediction. Michigan repeats as Big Ten champ. Meanwhile, Rickard Roller says, no opinion should be made of Michigan by what you've seen so far this year.
I agree.
They've played 3 of the worst FBS schools in college football.
They've had an awful preseason schedule is what it boils down to. Their season starts Saturday at Maryland. But in that preseason schedule, they've looked really good.
Yeah, I don't like Harbaugh. Harbaugh can coach. They're still really physical. They run the football effectively. They've got more of a dynamic quarterback now with J.J. McCarthy. This could be a bit better, actually, a better Michigan team. Although you lose Jabo and Aiden Hutchinson on those ends.
They've looked really good.
Might be a better team.
Those numbers, part of our Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3, also part of our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Which will get you into the game this weekend.
It will. Use promo code NEXTROUND. Promo code NEXTROUND. They'll double that initial deposit up to $1,000 in mybookie.ag. Week 4 college football already underway. Week 3 of the NFL underway. You can get on board mybookie.ag. Promo code next round to double that deposit bonus up to $1,000. Super contest, survivor pools, the double deposit bonus, it's all there at mybookie.ag. Not your grandfather's bookie. This is MyBookie. So go online now and start your winning season this weekend. mybookie.ag, code next round. mybookie.ag, code next round.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
There's still time before the weather changes to do something new in 2022. Ocean City, Maryland, and our friends at Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City is ready to welcome you. Kayak from Bayside Beach, swim in the Atlantic, dine at Bayview Bar and Grill, local golf packages, great restaurants, and a lot more. See everything online at residencenoc.com. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. It's time to do something different. Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City, Maryland.
Holly Mack Wilson just sold the Johnsons a new home. Not a house, a home. She helped them put a swing in the backyard, helped move the grill to the back patio, and watched as the Johnsons put their great-grandmother's piano in the foyer. A house is a dwelling. A home is a place filled with love and memories. Call Holly Mack Wilson, your Tuscaloosa Keller Williams Realtor, 205-901-9446, or check out our website, hollymackhomes.com, and let Holly Mack Wilson help you find your dream home where you can make your own memories.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
In a word, it's chaos. You'll have to see it to believe it. Whoever said that must have been talking about Talladega. It's a place where chaos mixes with speed, where a town turns into a city, and a weekend becomes a lifetime of memories. It's a tradition like no other. What a wild finish. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, October 1st and 2nd. Bubba Wallace, the winner at Talladega. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
For more than 40 years, Red Wing Shoes has been helping the hardworking people of Alabama. This is why Red Wing Shoes has created the 3-step comfort solution. Step 1, a certified fit specialist will use a 3D scan to electronically measure your feet and arches. Step 2, the fit specialist helps you get the appropriate footwear for your occupation. Step 3, customize your boot or shoe with a Red Wing orthotic. Whether you have a high arch or flat feet, Red Wing has comfort solutions for you. So experience comfort at its best. Visit one of the Red Wing shoe stores located in Pelham or Trussville.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our not-for-all-ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
More of the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 6 coming up in just a second. Remember, as we get ready for this big college football weekend coming up, that we get, still some coaching searches going on out there for Nebraska and Arizona State, and we'll see if we get more into the mix. A big win last night for Neil Brown, helping his team. He's back to even now, so 2-2, a little bit more comfortable as their schedule heats up with Texas next.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was a late pick in that game where, it was already decided, but I could just see him breathe a sigh of relief. They showed, a still shot of him, and he just looked like, boy, that is a weight off my shoulder, because that was a dangerous game, going into Lane Stadium. Brent Pry doesn't have a quarterback right now. Grant Wells is not going to be the answer, the transfer from Marshall. They just don't have any offense, and they're playing undisciplined football. You go back to the Week 1 loss against Old Dominion, 15 penalties. Last night, 15 penalties. 15 penalties. I mean, we made such a deal of that. Alabama against Texas. They've done it twice now this year.
That's pretty amazing. Part of our show brought to you by our friends at Wayne's today, Brownie.
You need that great-looking lawn in the spring and the summer. You might think, well, I'll worry about that in the spring and the summer. That, my friend, is incorrect. Yards of the month in the spring and the summer are made in the fall. It's called the shutdown season. You may not have ever known about this, but your yard has to shut down properly. And what Wayne's does with their EnviroLawn service, they come in and they make sure you get the proper shutdown with the correct nutrients and pre-emergent that gets down into the turf and into the root system. And when spring and summer roll around, your yard looks great. You can get on board right now by calling 866-WAYNES-1, 866-WAYNES, and the number 1. Use code TNR to save 1 month off your EnviroLawn service. 1 month free with the code TNR when you call 866-WAYNES-1.
We will get back into some more college football at the top of the hour. Talk a little Alabama football. Brown's got a reason why the Alabama offense may show signs of improving sooner rather than later.
Good news.
And an interesting college football stat. That is all coming up at the top of the hour with Brown. Right now, more of the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 as we discuss some of the bigger games tomorrow. Everybody seems to be gravitating to the Lunsford pod, the Lunsford pool, if you will, on the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 this week. They think this is an easy series of games. Texas A&M minus 2.5, Texas minus 6.5, and Iowa State minus 2.5. That Arkansas, Texas A&M, as much as I thought they looked a little smoother with Max Johnson, it is hard for me to see Texas A&M losing again to Arkansas, paying Jimbo Fisher all that money. But I get the feeling you guys are picking Arkansas in this game. I'm a little bit on the Aggies in this one.
Well, before last year, the Aggies had won 9 straight.
Yes.
And, Arkansas physically popped them last year, holding them to 10 points. And you look at this A&M offense, I mean, maybe it was a little bit better, but only 17 points against Miami last week. They're 99th nationally at passing. I will tell you, man, Raheem Sanders is playing so well for Arkansas. Drew Sanders, by the way, Alabama transfer on Mel Kiper's big board, I think 15th or 16th overall.
Wow.
Can you imagine? That was a guy that didn't feel like he had a spot because of Dallas Turner.
Yeah, couldn't get on the field.
Yeah, now he's got 5.5 sacks through 3 games. Yeah. Arkansas, you think the physicality, but, man, they're allowing 335 yards passing through the air.
Over the top.
Is that what they're going to do?
Not so fast, my friend.
Hey,
over the top.
How many teams play college football?
131 in the Division Ones.
That's right. Where's Arkansas ranked nationally in pass defense?
They're 131. They have this many people behind them.
Dead DFL, Lance, dead last in pass defense. Now, the problem is that's where Texas A&M has struggled. This is the old something's got to give in this game, right?
Well, yeah, and can you protect Max Johnson?
Well, because they're 99th passing at 208 a game, so it's got a crappy passing attack against a crappy pass defense.
Yeah, A-Chain's got 4 of their offensive touchdowns. They've only got 8. So they've got to get something going through the air. If they've got any shot at beating Arkansas, It's going to be on Max Johnson. It's going to be better play calling from Jimbo Fisher. They got to be able to make some plays downfield. Underdogs 15 times under Sam Pittman. They're 11-4 against the number with 5 outright wins. Arkansas is typically good in this spot. With all that said, I'm starting to like A&M.
I'm going with the Hogs in this one. I kind of like Arkansas.
I love the Aggies in this one. Paul says Arky's a trendy underdog, which scares me. Steve says I still like Arkansas in this one. Jimbo seems to trip over his feet a lot. I will tell you, as turf goes, and we've experienced this a couple of times out there with Alabama, players love this turf in Arlington. They think this is some of the best footing, faster turf stadiums they play in.
Not surprised that Jerry would spare no expense getting the best turf, and that's good. I'm glad that that's the case.
Big for A-Chain, big for Anias.
It is. I thought Lance might have been a little too quick, though. I don't know that I 100% disagree, and labeling Sam Pittman as the better coach over Jimbo Fisher. I mean, Fisher, with all we criticize him for, I mean, he's won a lot of football games. And I can't say that you're 100% wrong there, but I can't even remember who our guest was, where you just definitively labeled, Arkansas's got the coaching advantage.
Well, here's what I did. I said, I said this doesn't really come into play as far as winning a game, but if you did a coach-quarterback combination, to me, it's not even close. KJ Jefferson, Sam Pittman, alligator mouth. Greater than
alligator mouth
than what you get with Jimbo Fisher.
The gator eats more.
And Max Johnson.
Yeah. It's not a debate either on the best moving service around. It's Crocker Moving Services. They're the people to use for all your residential and commercial moving, and they'll even pack you up, whether it's your office or your home. That's a fantastic service right there. CrockerMovingServices.com is the website. CrockerMovingServices.com. Eric Crocker, the owner, a Marine, a Birmingham native, a veteran of the Iraq War. He's a veteran. It's a veteran-owned company. That says a lot about the values of this company. In fact, they use made-in-the-USA equipment, made-in-the-USA supplies whenever possible. CrockerMovingServices.com. Check them out for your next business or home move anywhere in the continental United States. Also in that group there's something about Texas Tech that keeps popping up my mind with the Longhorns going to Lubbock there. I don't know what it is, LT.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know who's going to start at quarterback for either one of these teams. So it's one of those that I think Bijan's going to have a big day. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Tyler Shuck more than likely will get the start for Joey McGuire. On the other side, is it Hudson Card? Do we get to see Quinn Ewers again? Texas woke up last week in the second half against Texas San Antonio. It seemed really scary coming off that loss. Really a tough emotional loss to Alabama, a physical loss. They woke up with that pick six, and then they started to pile it on. And I just wonder if Texas starts to roll here. I think Texas Tech is the right way. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cover. I'm staying away from this game because I think Texas could really start to get things going offensively.
With 41 points, you would have expected, if you had not seen a play of that game, for Hudson Card to have more than 163 pass yards with 41 points.
But look what their defense did, and look what Bijan did.
Bijan Robinson was the guy.
Yeah, 183 yards in that one. NextRoundLive.com, NextRoundLive.com. That's where you find the big icon of Buffalo Wild Wings and the pick 3. You just hit that big thing, and it'll pop up. It'll give you 6 different pools or pods to pick. You click one of those, go 3-0 in that pod, and you've got a ball in the bucket, and you got a chance to win the grand prize at the end of the year. You don't have to play every week. You got a better chance. You play every week, get more balls in the bucket, better chance to win in that drawing at the end. But you only need one ball in the bucket to have a chance to win. So play when you can at nextroundlive.com. That's open throughout the day and all the way to in the morning. The show being brought to you in part by our friends at Precision Sports. Quinn Ewers could play in that game. He's back in the game thanks to great medicine like you get at Precision Sports.
Yeah, our friends at Precision Sports, if you're close to or if you've met your annual insurance deductible, your out-of-pocket costs could be significantly reduced. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics encourages you to see an orthopedic surgeon for that elective procedure to treat the back pain, foot pain, hand pain, shoulder pain, other joints. Make an appointment. Start saving today. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/providers.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
At ERA King Real Estate, they're empowered by technology and driven by community. They have the most extensive training and the most innovative tools in the business. And they've now opened their 10th office location in Central Alabama. To find your agent in your neighborhood, text the word MOVE, M-O-V-E, to 35620. That's MOVE to 35620. In this crazy market, depend on a neighborhood friend. ERA King Real Estate, growing to serve you.
Hi, I'm Lionel Richie, and I have traveled all over the world, but I consider Tuskegee, Alabama as my home sweet home. I have such a pride in this state, and I know that there's something I need to tell you that's of great importance. Vote. Register to vote and get your voter ID today. It really is easy. Easy like Sunday morning.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
When it's time to move, there's one name to remember: Crocker Moving Services, for all your moving needs, both residential and commercial, and they'll even pack for you. See all they offer at crockermovingservices.com. Owner Eric Crocker is a Marine, a Birmingham native, and a veteran of the Iraq War. Crocker Moving Services will use made-in-the-USA equipment, made-in-the-USA supplies, and veteran-operated whenever possible. And they'll move you anywhere in the continental United States. Check them out online right now, crockermovingservices.com. The Next Round is proud to partner with Vulcan Tire and Auto, and we're excited to announce their first-class team and facilities are growing. If you are an experienced general maintenance technician looking for a new opportunity with a great growing company, go by Vulcan Tire. They want to talk to you. Not experienced, but interested in working on cars? Again, go by Vulcan Tire. They have a spot for anyone that has a can-do attitude, wants to work, and enjoys helping people. 4 locations and more to come. Vulcan Tire and Automotive, Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you: Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386 or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Back with you on The Next Round as we go to the second half of the show, brought to you by our friends at Champy's world-famous fried chicken. Bobby in the chat room, who came up with a pod system for the pick 3. It sucks. Trying to make it work at nextroundlive.com to try to give you more than just 6 games to pick, all the same games, giving you some options there is why we went with that. We couldn't do every game in the nation. and make it work online for us there. So that's why we went in that direction. We may do it differently down the road in 2023. That's where we are right now. You can go play at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com for the Baumhauer's Pick 3. This hour of the show always brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Open for lunch and dinner now for your tailgates. If you're heading down to Jordan-Hare or Bryant-Denny for the early morning game or the night games at those two locations, you can get the big chicken fingers in a big tin thing a big tin tray and carry them to your tailgate, and you'll win the tailgate there. Those chicken fingers are hand cut. You can go to the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales right there as well, and all the beautiful sides. It's at Champy's world famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com. As we continue to talk football, let's do the headlines in just a second. I will tell you, still to come on the show, Tyler Watson studio and Rockstar, who's back with the Playhouse at 12:20. If you want to make an appointment to be back with us then, 12:20 is when Rockstar will have the Playhouse. A week after, he gave us Meadows by Morning musical rendition last week, which was, as I played golf at the Meadows, they loved it out there.
Oh, good. Thank you, guys.
I did sing a song that sounded a lot like Over the Weekend a lot. No, I didn't sing your song. I sang that other song, but your song made me sing that song.
That sentence really confusing.
There was a song your song sounded a lot like.
Amarillo by Morning.
Okay, go ahead and say it. It's just copyright issues there.
I can't say the actual name of the song.
I don't know, Rockstar.
I say the name of the song.
Okay. Thank you, Rockstar, for making that way more complicated than it had to be.
Before we get back to football, you guys were talking shows earlier on Rockstar's viewing menu. 1923 is coming out from Tyler Sheridan?
Taylor
Sheridan, who did Yellowstone and then the prequel way back at the beginning when they were conquering the West. This is still the Dutton family now during Prohibition times, of how the Duttons made their empire during Prohibition times. The two people who are signed on as lead actor and actresses, Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
Yeah, great actor, great actress.
Yeah, and
God, how old is Harrison Ford?
He's 72.
Well, he looks older than that.
74. I mean, he may be 80.
And just signed on to this. They'd been on the show for a while. Robert Patrick.
Yeah, Robert Patrick was the Terminator in Terminator 2. He's also been in Copland. He was in The Sopranos.
His brother was lead singer of Filter, but Harrison Ford is 80 years old.
80 years old. I mean, that is. Whew.
And Jeremy Flynn from Game of Thrones. That's a pretty good cast they're putting together for that, right?
Yeah,
it's far away from Faith Hill. And
I'm really excited about the Tulsa King,
McGraw.
the new Sylvester Stallone mob, Taylor Sheridan. The new drama that he's put together there, to me, his best work is early film work. Wind River is just incredible. From Hell and
Hell and High Water?
No, From Hell to High Water. What is it? Help me out.
Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water. Yeah, with Chris Pine and Ben Foster. Yeah, very good. And then Sicario. But Taylor Sheridan did great work. I think it's gotten a little cheesy, but hopefully the Tulsa King will be good, and maybe 1923 will be good. It's a good cast, as you said.
Headlines from last night's action, getting ready for tonight, brought to you by our friends at Simpio. Simpio, one of the first calls we made up here.
Yeah, one of the first calls we made, because they're going to take care of the BS in every single office. When your company joins Simpio, they will make sure they take care of the 4 pillars: compliance, HR, payroll, benefits. Simpio, you'll gain access to health care and employer benefits at prices only large organizations get. On average, Simpio saving companies of all sizes and industries over 18% net of their fees. You can join Simpio any time of year, no annual contract. With that being said, Simpio has a 99% retention rate. For more information, call Blake and the guys today, 205-635-7467 or online, Simpio.com.
All right, last night, West Virginia with a win as they went to Virginia Tech and got the win. Win for Coastal Carolina at Georgia State, some bad blood in that one. In the NFL, interesting contest there that saw the Browns win again. Brown, you were talking earlier, what would the Browns look like when Deshaun Watson? Will they be a playoff contender?
Well, I mean, they should be 3-0 right now. That Jets game, I mean, you could play that again 100 times, Lance, and I don't think it goes that same finish any of the 100.
Yeah, but Cade York, who's missed extra points in back-to-back games, made a 54-yarder against Carolina to win that game.
Yeah.
So, go back. I don't know if
maybe
he makes
those
a 54-yarder.
Who
They
knows?
probably
But my
do.
point was they should be. You could make an argument they should be 3-0 with Deshaun Watson. I mean, how good would this team be right now? The way they run the football and 3-0.
Would you start Kenny Pickett after the mini bye after 10 days if you were Pittsburgh?
I would. And George Pickens, we saw the incredible grab.
What a catch.
The polarizing receiver from Hoover that, really was never on the field at Georgia, but it was just a hell of a catch. I mean, Odell Beckham, it reminded you of that catch. Beckham actually on Twitter, talked about the catch, remarked about the catch, posted it. Pickens said last night he was open 90% of the time.
That's just going to be another one, and it was largely because of injury where people are going to say, my gosh, he played at Georgia? I just don't remember him playing at Georgia.
But I could see
he's going to have a career,
Pickett
I think.
to Pickens be a big quarterback to receiver combination. And if I'm Mike Tomlin, he said it's not going to be next week. It will be sooner than later.
Well, my neighbor is a huge Steelers fan.
He's ready, right?
No. I saw him at the bus stop, and the first thing I said this morning at the bus stop is, I think it's close to Pickett time. He goes, huh? He goes, go back and watch the game. He goes, Trubisky wasn't as bad as you think. He's like, now, if we lose again, I'm okay. He said, but, we're 1-2. I would stick with Trubisky right now.
You got to trust Mike Tomlin a little bit. He never had a losing record as a head coach. But they're talking about it right now on Get Up. Is it, on First Take, is it time to start rookie Kenny Pickett? You almost feel like you'd be throwing in the towel for the season at that point and let him learning on the job.
And I think that was my neighbor's point is you're still not out of the playoff race right now. Wait till you're out of the playoff race to go to Kenny Pickett.
Virginia and Syracuse tonight, part of our Friday night slate, ESPN, 6 o'clock tonight. Judge Watch is still on. If you're trying to watch that tonight, that is Apple TV Plus for the Yankees and Judge this evening. So, and congratulations to Alabama soccer, number 6 in the country with another big win yesterday. All right, back to college football. Before we get to that, lock of the day brought to you by our friends at Hemphill. LT, last night's lock, how did it work out? Good play?
Last night's lock was not. We had Georgia State done away.
Georgia State last
No,
night.
we had the Browns, so that was your silver lining. So we hit another NFL game. We've had an incredible week in the NFL. We had a great Saturday last week in college football, but we did have Georgia
6-1
State.
last Saturday, right?
Yep.
6-1 last Saturday. You can start that weekend right now at lanceslock.com. The lock is brought to you every day by our friends at Hemphill. Adam Chad and his team over there are the only ones to trust to fix it right, and fix it the first time. Hemphill Services. They do it right, and they do it at a fair price. For all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. That's Hemphill Services. Call them up now, 205-229-2090, 229-2090, or just remember the name Hemphill. Brown, Alabama's offense.
So if you were to grade Alabama's passing game right now, well, but let me back up before I ask that question to both of you. Coming into the season, you thought Alabama's passing game would be what?
I didn't know. I thought it would be
you trusted in Bryce Young.
Absolutely. I didn't know about the offensive line. I didn't know about receivers.
Yeah.
But I was expecting it to be better than what it's been so far, but not as good as it was last year.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you would give it a grade so far of a B?
I'd go C.
I would go C plus, B minus.
Alabama
I would
passing
go
game,
C.
C plus.
A little above average.
Yeah, 74th in the nation, 8th in the conference, to 243 a game. I don't think you thought it would be that bad, did you?
No.
Yeah, here's the good news. You want some good news for Alabama's passing attack? 3 of the next 4 are against the 3 worst pass defenses in the Southeastern Conference.
Arkansas, which we mentioned.
Well, it starts Saturday with Vandy, who was 13th in the conference against the pass, 108th in the country. They're giving up 274 a game.
Well, Arkansas has to be 14th if they're 131st in the country.
And then goes to Arkansas, who is very good math, Jim, 14th in the conference, dead last in the country at 352 a game. You sneak A&M in there, but then Tennessee can't stop the pass either, or at least they haven't as of yet. 12th in the conference, 100th overall in the country, 261 a game. So 3 of Bama's next 4 defenses they'll face against the pass are 100 or worse in the country, and they're the worst 3 in the Southeastern Conference.
But my concern then will become if Alabama can't put up big numbers throwing the football, then just what is this team going to be passing-wise?
That's kind of my point in bringing that up. I think you'll know over these next 4 games, is this a legit contender or not? Because if you can't throw the football against Vandy, Arkansas, and Tennessee, I don't know who you're going to throw it against based on those numbers.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is good news for Alabama's offense. Or at the backside of these 4 games, we may revisit this and say, Brown, do you remember a month ago when you said that was good news? This is concerning, man.
Yeah, well, it's almost like JoJo Earl and Tyler Harrell are sort of like, men in capes. They're going to come in and be superheroes when they come back. And we'll see, when they're back tomorrow or, probably Arkansas or whenever they are back in rotation and what they bring to the table when they're back on the field. Everyone seems to expect the cavalry to come riding in on that passing game at some point.
Well, and Aaron Anderson is a guy we never talk about that has missed as well. A lot of people in the offseason thought he was the guy that could be that freshman that came in, and I'm not comparing him to these guys, but
he's a track star.
The impact, I was going to say, the type of freshman that you saw with Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy. And, when all those freshmen came in and boom, they were just on the field instantly. I'm not saying he's as good as those guys. I'm just saying an instant impact as a freshman.
He's been injured with his knee. And
that's right. Yep.
He's cleared to play, but if you hear the coach talk, it's whenever he's comfortable to start making the plays and get out there and play is when he'll be, working his way back into the rotation.
But I do think the thing with Tyler Harrell, again, whenever he is able to come back, whether it's next week or the week after or the Tennessee game, just his film from Louisville is going to make defenses have to respect him. Now, that won't last if Bryce Young can't get him the football or if he can't get open. But his film, just that speed they know he's got, I think him being on the field, defenses are going to have to say, okay, this guy can run past us. We got to be careful here. And that should, in theory, help Alabama's run game, in theory.
Do you think Alabama fans would like to see Tennessee unbeaten?
Yes.
When they go to Knoxville, like they're cheering, like Alabama fans cheering for Tennessee tomorrow against Florida.
Who does Tennessee have to after
LSU.
Florida?
Yeah. So they got Florida, LSU, then Bama.
They should have one more in there, right? Give me 2 seconds, I'll tell you.
Unless they got a bye. I think they're going to be undefeated.
Right. Yeah. I would lean undefeated. I do think they'll beat Florida this weekend. LSU is just such an unknown right now. I've seen LSU look really bad against Florida State, and then I was impressed with how they looked against Mississippi State. So I don't really know what they are.
It's weird that, game day, not weird. I mean, it's Florida, Tennessee, and Tennessee's a big story now, but you're sort of burning that Knoxville trip there to where that could be a big game coming up here
15th?
in a few weeks on the 15th. And we penciled in game day for Tuscaloosa on October the 8th. With Texas A&M. If Arkansas gets him tomorrow, you even wonder if game day slides to town for Texas A&M, Alabama.
Well, all of a sudden, CBS choosing that A&M window for the primetime Alabama game. If Tennessee's undefeated, that's your better game.
Yeah.
Alabama, Tennessee, and Knoxville primetime would have been the better of the two choices in hindsight.
What's earlier in that day, though? I wonder. Because you want to because when you get to 2 first selections, you want that to be a day that you've got 2 really good ones.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know what else was, because you're okay. I mean, we've proven over the time, you've pointed this out many times that, doesn't matter if you play it at 11 o'clock, 2:30, or 7 o'clock. If it's a big game, people are going to watch it.
Well, you got LSU, Florida you could do earlier that day, and Gainesville.
Could be a couple of...
Yeah. Mississippi State, Kentucky, not name brand, but that could be a really good football game right there. And then Bama, Tennessee. Those are your decent. I mean, Auburn plays Ole Miss that day. I don't know. I mean, you're right. There's not a great game.
So you're going to be okay with Tennessee, Alabama at 2:30.
Yeah, but Tennessee does have the bye after this week. Then they go to LSU, which, LT, I mean, if you had to guess right now, what's the point spread on that one?
Tennessee at LSU?
Yeah. It's pretty close to a pick 'em, wouldn't you say?
LSU's going to roll this week.
I would imagine.
They got New Mexico, and they're awful.
Then they got Auburn the week after that, so that's what you don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of the gauge I would like to see. LSU at Auburn. I think Auburn's going to be. Well, it depends on what happens with Missouri this week.
I know. There's a lot of unknowns.
They might have an interim coach. So if I was setting that line today, though, Tennessee at LSU, I would put Tennessee as a 5-point favorite.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Craig says, no, I never cheer for UT. I never cheer for UT.
That is a tough spot. Even if you want them undefeated, cheering for them feels like a tough spot for Alabama.
All right. Time for the Baumhower Spotlight today. I'll go ahead and say up front, I did not do my homework. I do not have a headline today, but Rockstar, Brown, and LT do. It's our Monday's headlines today. Rocky, hit the button. Oh, hold on. Premature adjumulation there again. Baumhower Spotlight brought to you every day by our friends at Baumhower's. Hit it, man.
The College Football Spotlight.
Like the game's already been played. Monday's headlines today.
Hey, if you're looking for some great wings, our friend Bob Baumhauer, they've got some incredible recession concession specials. Right now, their wing special, a pound of the traditional wings with your choice of sauce, served with the curly Q fries and a complimentary beverage for only $9.99. Make sure you check that out. Bob Baumhauer, the first to bring the delicious taste of wings to the state of Alabama back in 1981. 40 years, 4 concepts, 14 restaurants later. Bob still serving up great food and hospitality to the people and visitors of Alabama.
All right, let's. Who do you want to start? You got the images. Who do you want to start with? What?
We go first. You can go.
I don't have one.
Oh.
I don't have one. So who do you want to go first?
Why is it up to me? Brown, you want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Mine, as Rockstar will show you, comes from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Big game this weekend.
It is.
In Dallas.
Huge
Arkansas
one.
playing Texas A&M. Pittman and local man's stomach filled with Dallas Fisher fry. Pittman and local man's stomach filled with Dallas Fisher fry. Arkansas. Guys, this is going to be a 2-touchdown win. 24-10, they win this game in Dallas.
Did you actually write an article?
Well, it's a little bit.
Oh, my God.
He really did.
That is the worst Sam Pittman picture I've ever seen in my life, though. He
You
doesn't
take
look,
that up with Miss Pittman.
He doesn't look like that anymore.
He will after that Fisher fry. You get kind of bloated and greasy because of all that grease in the fish.
I like it. I like it.
Hey, look at the bottom of the article right there. The A&M fans get so upset they start cheering, "Let's go, Jimbo."
That would be bad.
Let's go, Jimbo.
Mine comes from the Seattle Post-Intelligencer.
The old PI?
Yeah, the old PI, man. We go out west. Knicks unleashed in Pullman. Cougars get ducked 6 ways to Sunday.
I like the picture collection.
Knicks unleashed in Pullman. Cougars get ducked 6 ways to Sunday.
All right, mine is.
Well-positioned photos there, too.
Yes, very good.
Is Boise back in town?
The Brian Harsin photo.
And then an NIL deal for Zach Cal Mazda Miata. Fans want Daniel on the cob at the concessions. We all want him back, man.
Is Boise back in town?
To the tune, man. I like that. That's
Very
right.
good,
That
right.
is the Monday headlines today, brought to you by our friends at Baumhauer.
Again, Bob Baumhauer, the first ever to deliver Alabama's first great taste of wings back in 1981 at Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa. In fact, he had to give them away for the first few years. Now everybody has fallen in love. 40 years, 4 concepts, 14 restaurants later. Bob's still serving up great food and hospitality to the people and visitors of Alabama. Get some of those wings to go from that recession concession menu this weekend.
LT's got trash coming up in the next segment. Tyler Watts at the top of the hour to talk Alabama and Vandy and what he's seeing with the Crimson Tide pass game. And Rockstar's Live Playhouse is at 12:20 a little bit later on today. And don't forget, you can always play the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 right there at nextroundlive.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
There's still time before the weather changes to do something new in 2022. Ocean City, Maryland, and our friends at Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City is ready to welcome you. Kayak from Bayside Beach, swim in the Atlantic, dine at Bayview Bar and Grill, local golf packages, great restaurants, and a lot more. See everything online at residenceinnoc.com. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. It's time to do something different. Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City, Maryland.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Don't let a roof problem disrupt your football Saturday or Sunday. Call Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Locally owned at 205-542-3531. Greg wants to give you a free, no-cost inspection. Free, no cost, no obligation, 205-542-3531. He can also pressure wash your metal roofing. It's easy to see why his company's so successful. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, and insurance companies trust him. You should too. 205-542-3531 or just look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City.
Hey everyone, John Lunsford here, and make sure to join Jerry Young and myself every Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. for Next Round Preps. It's an in-depth look at all the various big high school football games going on across the state. We'll recap the week before and we'll preview the week ahead. Plus, we'll talk bracketology, recruiting, and other big headlines across all high school sports. That's every Thursday during football season at 1 p.m. on YouTube, nextroundlive.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Whether you're a weekend athlete or sports is your life, Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics wants to help you stay in the game. If you have an injury or pain that says something's not right, let Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics help you make your greatest comeback. From concussions to sprained ankles, our experienced team is ready with treatment options. Find a doctor at precisionsportsortho.com/providers.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Now is the time to make your kids happy with a playground from Backyard Adventures. Order now and you're still guaranteed a Christmas delivery. Just go to backyardalabama.com. That's backyardalabama.com. On the website, you can see some brand new forts that are available. Plus, the always popular display sale is underway now. Just call 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386 or go to backyardalabama.com. As always with Backyard Adventures, you get quality 100% cedar with lifetime warranties, and they take care of their customers from start to finish. That means they completely set up the playground. You don't have to do anything. They'll do the landscaping to make it fit into your backyard. They'll do a maintenance program every year for you to keep it looking brand new. And when it's time for the playset to go, they'll come and take it down for you too. Learn about the display sale and see everything you need online at backyardalabama.com or call them up 205-408-4FUN for Backyard Adventures. This hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, open right there on Highway 119. High school football tonight. If you're on your way to a game in the area, you can always swing by there and have an early dinner before you go watch your favorite teams play. On your way to the beach or back or wherever you're going, Champy's Chicken. Sterling and his crew down there with a perfect place for lunch or dinner. Brandy's got a cool college football stat that he'll give you in the next segment before we get to Tyler Watts coming up at the top of the hour. One interesting note yesterday in the NFL, Sean Payton, LT, says he would return to coaching in 2023 with the right situation. Is that just the Dallas Cowboys, you think?
I don't know. He won't say franchise quarterback. Do we consider Dak a franchise quarterback? He was borderline top 10 at times.
I would say he is, yeah.
Yeah, probably good enough. Of course, now Jerry Jones is saying he's welcoming a quarterback.
I would walk to
battle.
New York if this were a quarterback battle, he said.
Yeah, that just means they won some football games with Tyler Rush.
Sean Payton pointed out in the podcast he wants a really strong front office. I don't think that's the Jones family right now.
Yeah, they spend money at least.
Yeah,
they spend money, but if they give him full autonomy, I don't see that ever happening with the Jones family. The only way he's going to come back is if he has an elite quarterback and he's got full control.
Yeah, I mean, a guy like Sean Payton, I don't take a job that doesn't have a proven Super Bowl quarterback. Not just elite, but a guy that's been to the Super Bowl. I prefer one that's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'll tell you this.
Dude gets tackled by the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I saw that.
Aggressively throws that table.
Who flips that table?
Now, watch out for this. I do think that Brandon Staley will have the Chargers in the playoffs, but if they miss the playoffs again with Justin Herbert,
that's a good place.
That's a job that could open up.
It would make you think. Yeah,
good place right there. It's a good-looking team. I don't know about their front office. One thing that has a good coach all the time is Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City runs that place. place. Technically, his wife does, but, Greg does a lot of the work there, too. It's a husband-wife team. They own Storm Restoration Roofing, locally owned for over 20 years, and Greg's been a big part of that for every step of the way. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, locally owned, as I said, for 20 years, and the best warranties in the business. Insurance companies trust these guys. You cannot beat Storm Restoration Roofing when you have storm damage, so remember this number or write it down, 205-542-3531. 542-3531. You can get a free no-cost roof inspection right now. If you haven't had that roof inspected in the last few years, now's a good time to get it done. Free no-cost inspection with Greg Nelson and Storm Restoration Roofing. 205-542-3531. Or just look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. Easy way to contact him, or just remember the name Storm Restoration Roofing. All right, trash time here. LT's got some stories rolling on. By the way, Rockstar 48th year of Saturday Night Live is about to start. Miles Teller, I think, will be the first host.
And they have lost, I think, around 7 or 8 cast members in the past year. It has been a mass exodus.
And
so
a
new group.
A lot of people are pointing to that, saying that this might be the beginning of the end, actually, for the show. There's been a lot of speculation that
or Lauren's going to give it up.
That Lauren Michaels is either going to give it up or he's just going to retire and they're going to shut the whole thing down.
Can't tell you guys the last time I watched that.
That's another thing. I don't know what the demographic is. What ages are you looking for?
Normally, it's teenagers, early 20s.
Wow.
That's the way it's always been historically, I think. Yeah.
Right. Trash time. Hit it, Rockstar, man. Let's go.
Hey, your old man passed away, right?
Oh, wow.
No, not yet. Oh, I thought he did. I thought the judge was dead.
My brother died.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
And LT's getting a beer.
Yeah, LT's. Okay. On the microphone, he's saying that you're going to prove that the Stella works here. Go ahead and do it, and then we'll tell you about Mortgage Right. Yeah, I'll have one, yeah.
You have a good night last night, everybody? It's pouring.
It is pouring. There's beer in there.
Take that guy who didn't think it was anything in there.
That's right. It's going to be number 2.
I'll take that one. Either one, I don't care.
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
A good-looking beer.
Yeah, thank you to our friends at Bud Light and Stella bringing you part of this show. And this segment brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, if you're fumbling through today's housing market alone, it's a bad play. That's why you should team up with the right lender and our friends at Mortgage Right. They created their Lock and Shop program to help you score big in home ownership. With Mortgage Right's Lock and Shop program, you can lock in your interest rate before you start shopping for a home. These days, homes are selling the second they hit the market, and this program allows you to take a time out. Make your home search easier by pre-approving your budget and maintaining that 60-day lock-in period while you look for your perfect home. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR today. Lock in that interest rate. Unlock your dream home. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. We're only 30 minutes early, right?
That's
Cheers.
right. Cheers to you, man.
Cheers. He comes back and he says, Steve says, I just wasn't sure if it was a prop. Cheers, gents.
Oh, yeah. No,
not a prop.
Just got us drinking a little early. It's fine.
It's all right.
So 1 in 5 Americans believe it is worth taking on debt to pay for a new iPhone 14.
Are you
according
kidding
to the
me?
survey.
Well, isn't that what you're doing, though, when you...
I'll say it again. I've got Apple. I'm hypocritical. I don't like Apple.
Isn't that what you're doing, though, when you agree to pay just $25 a month all the time? I mean, you're basically renting to own.
You are, but are they charging interest? I mean, I'm sure they're just building it into the price. I don't know if they're charging interest or not on
Well,
that.
Apple upped its tech game once again last week, officially releasing the new iPhone 14, which boasts the brand's longest battery life ever and offers incredible advances in photo technology, several new vital safety features. But is the device, which retails for close to $1,000 and can logistically double your cell phone bill, really worth the hype and or the debt? Now, according to a new survey by Wallet Hub, more than 1 in 5 Americans think so.
Well, we've been conditioned. Tyler, the intern, is not one of these people. Neither is my son. We've been conditioned that when the new version comes out, we have to have it.
Well, it's because it's always 2 things: double battery life, better camera. Every time. That's all some cool features.
And the only thing I care about is battery life. And I really haven't had problems with my battery because the only time I ever did was when I went on like massive road trips. Like when I do the The pub crawl.
Yeah, you're
That
gonna
could be
battery
a
issues?
battery situation. When I go to a game, I have some battery situations.
Well, we're hoping to have some folks to shoot the pub crawl.
Yeah.
So where it's not you doing it.
No, but I still want my cell phone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's wild to me, though, that the camera has become that's the thing they advertise the most is how good a camera is in a cell phone.
To give you a thing, my wife, for her work, they gave her the newest, the 13, and I have a 10 or something like that.
Right.
The camera difference, like shooting
It's
something
wild.
in cinematic mode, is
Yeah.
incredible. And if it's better than that,
But-
I understand that. But then you see yourself, am I going to really use cinematic mode? a
No,
lot?
I'm not.
No.
I mean, I've got a 13 and I don't ever use it. But, the thing I use least in the cell phone, the function of the cell phone I absolutely use least.
It's the phone.
The phone.
Yeah.
I almost never make phone calls.
Yeah, and that is interesting.
Yeah.
But it was Cameron. My youngest brother was over last weekend watching games, and he brought up that Samsung, the technology is better. I don't know. I'm not one to argue this, but he said
Samsung's had a better camera.
Well, that's what he said. He said that he sees pictures where his friend was taking a picture of a couple, and behind them was the moon, and you could actually see craters in the moon. It was the clarity, the resolution was that good.
I just don't really need that.
How about this one?
But to show you
show
you how crazy it is, Taylor, who runs our social media, was taking pictures, I guess, of something for the store yesterday, and actually had a legitimate camera. And I thought to myself, boy, it's been a long time since I've seen a legitimate camera.
Rocking a Minolta.
Yeah.
When you think about it, there used to be a almost a warehouse next door to. In Homewood, next door to Da Vinci's, and it was called Wolf Camera.
Wolf Camera.
Yeah, because I would park there sometimes, and it was just nothing.
I would park there to go to Da Vinci's.
to go to Da Vinci's.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. How about this? The motor.
Get your camping spot. Find out about garage passes. Check on that concert with Bailey Zimmerman and Chase Rice. It is free to Sunday ticket holders. You can get your tickets. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter @ScottForresterTV.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Getting the whole family into comfortable shoes can be an incredible feat, but not at New Balance Birmingham. We have the largest selection and inventory of any specialty shoe store, and our fit specialists will match your feet with the perfect New Balance shoe. Come see us at the New Balance Birmingham store, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today at New Balance Birmingham.
Things change fast these days. One thing that hasn't changed is our newest partner's dedication to serving you. Ryan Brown here for the next round, and I want to tell you about our friends at Better Business Bureau. BBB has been the beacon of trust and champion of marketplace principles, serving businesses and consumers locally for 70 years. BBB is focused on ethical business standards, including integrity, transparency, trustworthiness, and honesty. And they have something for everyone with tools like BBB Business Profiles, accreditation, scam tracker, get a quote, trusted reviews, dispute resolution, and more. You can be sure to find a trusted partner with BBB. Whether you need a trustworthy business to help you complete the next item on your honey-do list, need help avoiding scams, want to share feedback about a recent experience with a local business, or want to bolster your brand standing in the marketplace by becoming BBB accredited, BBB is here to serve you. With countless consumer resources and a menu of member benefits for businesses, they truly are a one-stop shop for your customer and business needs. Go to bbb.org and see what you've been missing.
Scott Powell, the executive director of the Alabama Head Injury Foundation.
The number of brain injuries in the state has increased every year from the previous year. There are about 4,100 new brain injuries every year in the state of Alabama that require an overnight hospital stay.
If you'd like to help out, please give us that information.
You can head to our website at ahif.org, and we are very thankful for any support that anyone can give.
It's the Alabama Head Injury Foundation from Huntsville to Mobile, wherever you watch us in the state. Great work, Scott. Thanks for being with us.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another college football season. And welcome back to another season of Fansville by Dr. Pepper. That little slice of heaven. Every man, woman, and student section drinks Dr. Pepper like their life depends on it. It does. Where the air is filled with the scent of charcoal grills, and the streets are marked with yard lines. Practical. Where the current trending baby names are Blitz, Spike, and 2-point conversion. Adorable. And recruitment starts before you're born. It's a linebacker. Where NFT stands for Not Fun Tailgate, and DIY stands for Dr. Pepper is Yummy. It is. It's the place off-season fever dreams are made of. where the right to life, liberty, and barbecue is written in the town's constitution. Saucy. And the current forecast is sunny, with a 90% chance of the skies opening up and raining down delicious droplets of Dr. Pepper. Grab a bucket. Get ready for anything to happen this college football season on Fansville by Dr. Pepper. The one fans deserve. Grab some today.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
The only place to get the best gear for game day is the Pants Store. 5 great locations in Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville. You can also order at pantsstore.com and follow the Pants Store on social media. Game day hats, all your Yeti accessories, sunglasses, and game day polos from Antigua, Taylor and Mick, Johnny O, and Gentile. And guys, trust me, this is where your daughters and wife want to shop because of all the in-style fashions made especially for them. It's the Pants Store, Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, and coming soon to Hoover and Auburn.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We're just talking with Tyler Watts and all of us in the commercial break about how special times with our kids when they're little are. And if you want to continue to make those special years extra special in your backyard, our friends at Backyard Adventures can make that happen. A great playground that'll last throughout their entire childhood. Quality 100% cedar, lifetime warranties. All you have to do is go to the website, backyardalabama.com, backyardalabama.com, 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386. Backyard Solutions offered the Backyard Adventure Playgrounds, alley-oop trampolines, goal setter basketball goals, everything to make your yard the place your kids and the neighborhood kids will want to play. 3D designer, they'll fit that playground perfectly in your backyard. You design your specific playground exactly the way you want it. They've even got commercial playgrounds if you want the kind you get in city parks or schools. The basketball goals are great. They'll landscape it all for you. They'll have maintenance programs. They'll set it up for you. It's all perfect right there at backyardalabama.com. Final hour of the show, Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, Forrester, Lunsford, Tyler the intern, Taylor's handling social media, and Tyler Watts is in to talk Alabama football with us for the next 15 or so minutes. Tyler, man, welcome back in the studio. How are you?
I'm doing well. Who's on YouTube?
We are back on YouTube.
Who's in charge of that?
I don't know who owns YouTube, but they had a big issue at YouTube Incorporated.
Google.
Google did?
Google
Okay.
Yeah, it happens. It happens occasionally. Those big companies get whacked occasionally, and you wonder if it was a cyber attack or something like that.
The
One
Russian
had to shut it
bots,
down.
yeah.
We didn't get a notice they were going to do any maintenance. Had to get in there, tighten up the YouTube screws, and rerun the antenna or anything.
I would hope they don't do that at noon on a weekday. But who knows?
Hey, Tyler, not a lot to take from last week, but we were talking about the punt returns and 252 or 262 total yards. Brian Branch took one to the house, but Kool-Aid, how he looked flipping the field, over 27 yards of punt return. The best I've ever seen in the history of Alabama was David Palmer. The deuce was just incredible. But for you, was it Freddie Mullins?
Freddie, I think, yeah, he took one back to the house on several occasions. He was pretty elusive. Javier Arenas. I mean, he was right there to me with Palmer because he would catch it in traffic and make 5 guys miss like that. Kool-Aid did this stuff in high school. I had a chance calling high school football to watch him on several occasions. And he was a good high school player. He was a guy you could put anywhere you wanted to, and he was going to be the dominant player at that position.
You know, I can't remember which NFL coach it was. I want to say it might have been Mike McDaniel, my guy with the Dolphins. But there was an NFL coach recently that was asked something about his special teams, a return question. He said, you guys realize those are yards too, right? Those yards count just like offensive yards or just like defensive yards you allow. I mean, sometimes it just gets forgotten. Like a guy fair catches the ball, you don't even think twice about it. But that can be the difference in a scoring drive or not scoring drive.
Most offenses are a little better starting on the 40-yard line versus the 5.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way the West Virginia Tech game started out last night. Everybody was pinned up at their own end zone. Finally got some offense going. Tyler Watts is with us every week, brought to you by the Watts Agency. And you say, Watts Agency, what is that? Well, it starts off.
It's me.
It's you and your group there, and you guys are independent. That means you can search everything and give everybody the best price and give them a service that you're not bound by a major company.
That's exactly right. And the thing is the fact that, we have options. And not every company fits every person. Not every person fits every company. We're kind of like life, right? We're not squares and circles, so don't be treated like one. We have options out there, and we find what's best for you and your family from a coverage standpoint and a price standpoint. And we've had a lot of success helping listeners of this show. It's been fun to get to know the audience.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, we trust Tyler. You should too. And when it comes to insurance, look at that face. That's the guy that's going to say yes more than he's going to say no.
I shaved,
and he's been doing it for a long, long time. I'd rather have an agent that's going to work for me for a yes than a no. And that's the Watts Agency. More on that in a second. So Alabama's passing game seems to be getting beat up on every show that I watch. Everything I read, the numbers aren't the same. Is Bryce already out of the Heisman hunt?
Right.
Blah blah blah. We've not even gotten to the games that matter yet, and people are painting a full portrait of what they think this passing game is. Is there any concern about what this passing game is to you right now going into SEC play?
Well, I think what we all have to remember is football teams, like anything else, it's a work in progress, and not just from week 1 to week 2 or preseason. I mean, throughout the course of the year, coaches are constantly tweaking and figuring things out with who can do what and what they're really good at. And players continue to develop, and you have some guys that are some hidden gems that kind of show themselves, and you find ways to utilize them. So it's an ongoing thing. And we also have to check ourselves from the standard that has been created. Over the last several years, we keep talking about who's going to win the national championship. We know it's Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, or somebody else, right? Well, for years and years and years, Alabama was in that group of everybody else, so we kind of appreciated the good times more than what we do now. And the standard has changed quite often, and we continue to compare it versus last year and the year before with a lot of guys that are now on NFL rosters. That's probably not the right thing to do.
Yeah, and so that's what I look at. 2020. I brought this up, Bama and Bourbon, with Aaron Suttles a couple of weeks ago. I think because we're so close to 2020, everybody wants Alabama to be almost perfection. And that 2020 team was about as close to perfection as you can get. This is still an Alabama team that has an opportunity to win a national championship, but you're just going to – sometimes you're going to have that 2019 LSU or that 2020 Alabama.
And typically I think this is about when the calendar turns October is kind of where you really know exactly what you got and teams really start to hit their stride. So I actually look for Alabama to really start to make some strides here in the next week or two. I think that's when they'll kind of start knowing what they have, who they can rely on, what their identity is offensively. We know their defense is much better, and how much would that 2020 offense have loved to have had this defense?
Oh.
That'd have been nice.
Yeah, you think?
We were scratching our claw going, are we going to be – if we turn the ball over one time back 2 years ago, we stood the risk of losing.
I do want to ask you this about the offense, and Tyler Watts Agency is with us. That number on that website again is?
205-664-4444.
All right, 205-664-4444. People call this show or they comment in the chat room there, and they're like, man, Bryce is so much better in the 2-minute, which he is. Why don't we just always run the 2-minute?
I asked that question.
Get,
hey,
right?
20 years ago, I asked that about the NFL.
Yeah.
Why don't they just let the quarterbacks call the play? Because in 2-minute offense, man, they go up and down the field.
That's the whole thing is you play an NFL game, and it's field goal, and then you get the 2 minutes, and it's just
game on.
I mean, it's game on up and down the field. But I get you got to understand the defense has changed,
and it's
too.
Bigger picture, and that's what we never tend to think about. It's bigger picture of not only that game, the number of snaps that these guys are playing, keep the defense fresh, play the field position game, but also the length of the schedule in the season, who you have coming up next. These coaches, they don't want to get in and run 80 and 90 snaps a game. We experimented with that a couple of years ago with Ole Miss and Oklahoma State, where they were high pace. We're just going to outscore everybody. They ran out of steam in November, and then they started getting beat.
Yeah, that's interesting that, one game, you could do one thing in one game, and you may not start paying the price for that until 3 or 4 or 5 weeks later on for running an 89-play game or playing a quadruple overtime game. Tyler talking college football with us. Alabama getting ready to play host to Vandy. It's a night game, SEC opener over there, and then it gets to an interesting part of the schedule coming up where Alabama may be challenged to win a game a little bit more in Fayetteville, so a lot of people are looking ahead. You mentioned this defense. You started to see, a turnover or two last week. Will Anderson gets one, takes it to the house. The turnovers, it seems to be what you're judged by how many points you give up and how many times you turn the ball over to give the offense a short field. This offense doesn't always seem like it needs a short field, but how does it benefit Alabama to have a defense that can turn the opponent over?
Well, from an emotional standpoint of the team, it's exciting. And a lot of times I think this team gets bored.
Yeah.
They might not want to admit it. And, it's a challenge, but sure. I mean, having that emotion on the sideline of something exciting going on out the field, that helps everybody, doesn't it? But that's
why it's important for a guy like Malachi to return a kick or something. I mean, it's something
don't
different.
Get carried away with kick. We still want to get the offense out there, right? Don't go all the way to the house. But those are just things that build that camaraderie on the sideline, that cohesion on the sideline, and make everybody involved in everything. When's it going to come? Who's going to be the one next to make the next play? They're still lacking there, though. They're not ripping the ball out from the ball carriers. They're not getting a lot of interceptions. And hopefully that turns around.
Back to number of plays run last week. This is pretty amazing. 59 plays run for Alabama, 63 points. Typically don't see that. With that said, rolling into SEC play, they get Vanderbilt, a team that has not beaten Alabama since 1984. It's a better Vanderbilt product this year. Do you have any Vanderbilt memories playing there or in Tuscaloosa?
Was that still an annual game when you played?
Yeah. We played them every year. And Vanderbilt was a team we always either opened up with them or played them within the first 2 weeks. So I tell everybody, we had to scratch and claw to get over the hump versus Vanderbilt to beat them. And the reason is
wasn't there a fake punt against a team you were on?
May have been.
I
don't remember.
I thought there was. Do you guys remember that?
I remember that Vandy fake punt. I can't remember what year it was.
No. That was that was before
late 90s.
me. That was mid 90s. I want to say that was in Tuscaloosa. Dude ran it right up the middle for like 80 yards.
Yeah, he was running like shoulder to shoulder with the Alabama cover guys. They're just humping it down the field.
So literally, it was like every time we played them, it was a one possession game. And had we played, and then my senior year, we played them in October after we played Tennessee, and we beat the dog out of them. And the reason is because they still thought they were good at the beginning of the year, and that they still had some dudes on their feet. Attrition took its toll, and then they started losing, and then the wheels fall off.
Yeah, but that name, I mean, it had to be tough to get up for. I mean,
First game helped, though.
Yeah, first game helped, but this time of year, I mean, they know what Vanderbilt is, even though they're 3-1.
And Vanderbilt knows what they are.
And Vanderbilt knows what they are. Yeah, I mean, but even though they're 3-1, it's going to be a hard sell for Nick Saban to get this team to play like they're playing Arkansas next week or A&M.
But I don't know that's probably not the message, though. I don't think. I mean, he's going to say that to some extent. But it's still, hey, you're not playing as good as you're capable of. I think that's the message that's probably preached more than anything down there in the locker room.
Well, the Alabama standard. He tries to preach that there is a standard, and it's not related to who you're playing.
Right.
It's related to what you expect of yourself and what we expect of you.
Which is still the same message, right?
Yeah.
Get off on third down, create turnovers, don't turn the ball over, establish the running game, and be able to pass at will.
What is the unit you want to see more out of? The one that I'm not going to use the word disappointed because that means there was some expectation set of them. But which unit do you want to see more out of?
I still want to see the offensive line just absolutely demolish and take control of the line of scrimmage, and they hadn't done that in several years. It's not the identity for the last 4 or 5 years.
They did a great job in the SEC championship game last year. I didn't think they could do that.
They held up.
Yeah,
I mean, it was still a pass the ball explosive type of play, and then everything was lateral.
But
they didn't challenge Georgia a whole lot between the tackles until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but holding up against that Georgia defense was impressive, and I thought that was their most impressive thing they did all year, especially coming off what I saw at Jordan-Hare Stadium last year. So,
but in 2020, with Steve Sarkisian, it was run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, play action off of it, take your shots that way. And now it seems to have morphed and kind of flipped. Hey, we're going to get our explosive plays, we're going to loosen you up, and then be able to run the ball.
So Bama's a 40.5-point favorite, which you typically don't see in the SEC. I don't care if it's Vanderbilt or anyone. That's a big number. Did you guys ever know what the number was when you were playing?
Man, I used to have some guys that would come in on Wednesday. Hey, we're playing Ole Miss, and the line's 6. You think y'all are going to get it?
That's my favorite, is asking a player. The player is the worst person to ask. Yeah. The player is the worst person to ask.
I enter-tapped my Jim Dunaway. I was like, yeah, we got this.
Well,
and then we get beat.
Put the house on it.
I mean, does it work? Because you hear it works like this. Like, if you practice bad, sometimes you play great, and sometimes you can have a great week of practice and you don't play that well.
At times. But typically, when you practice well and you're performing the game plan, unless they do something completely different that kind of gets you out of your rhythm, you're gonna do pretty decent. I mean, look, being able to keep these guys focused one play to the next is the biggest challenge. I think about that all the time back on my career is, man, if I'd been able to stay focused and the stupid mistakes that I made, like turning the wrong way to hand the ball off, dumb stuff like that cost you a snap and the opportunity to turn the chains over one more time, how much better you would have been.
You were a physical quarterback that liked to run the football. Going back this past week, I'm sure you saw the beginning of Penn State and Auburn, and Owen Popo's hit on Sean Clifford.
I'm sitting there going, dude, that Clifford guy, I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, he was
ran
so
like
lackadaisical.
Like thinking that he's going to come up and hit him with a Nerf ball or something.
It was such a great hit. It's one of those where you laugh out loud. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh. But my question to you, have you ever been hit that hard? That clean?
Oh, heck yeah. I got my bell rung a ton. My junior year, I remember running up the middle on a little zone read or something and going up and, I don't know what I was thinking, but I took on a linebacker for UCLA, and it was lights out. He got the best of me. I've been jacked a bunch, man.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe what was amazing to me is that they ran a 4th down play after Clifford got hit like that and asked Clifford to sneak it. I mean, when you got hit that hard, it takes you a minute to gather yourself, doesn't it?
Yeah, it can. Maybe,
maybe the sneak was the better play, though. But like if you're because you're just talking about even when you weren't concussed, going the wrong way on a handoff. If you asked Clifford to do much more than sneak it, he could have completely screwed it.
Is that what his dad said? I saw y'all's interview yesterday.
No, that was T.J. Finley.
T.J. Finley's dad.
T.J. Finley's dad, yeah.
Clifford's dad said that was a bad play call.
Yeah, what'd you think about that, man?
I would have. I'm sorry, but if my dad had ever stepped in, and I never knew of anyone who did.
Yeah, if Herman had
back then, it was like, hey, if you got a problem, then you go in there and talk to the coaches yourself.
Yeah. Different world now, man.
It is a completely different world, which kind of brings us up to the carousel. Should something happen down at Auburn, I've already had some Auburn friends saying, all right, it's holy cow. What's the guy from Ohio State that can't keep a job?
Oh, Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer.
Yeah, Urban Meyer. He's the guy. He's the guy.
Yeah. Always in a food line.
Hey, but now it might be Sean Payton, right?
Well, he said he'd coach again. I don't know if Auburn's boosters meet.
He's going to
You don't think that front office is the right fit?
To Robbie Ashford?
Yeah, it's front office requirement. And Auburn's boosters don't quite, maybe not mesh there.
How bad is the quarterback situation at Auburn? I know people are going to say it's an Alabama guy taking a shot, but
I ain't taking a shot because I've been in that locker room before in that type of situation where you can't really figure out who you are. They got a lot of issues. They really do. They're not great at that position, but they're relying on that position too much, realizing that that's not the answer to their problems. They got to run the ball. They have to be able to run the ball, and their success last year was established in the run. Quite honestly, it was Bo Nix being able to pull plays out of his you-know-what to be able to continue drives. I think, when we talked about this here all the time, is the fact that Bo Nix was undervalued for what he was able to do with what was around him. But they don't the receiving core is not what it needs to be. Those guys can't get open. They can't make plays. They just don't have any answers on the offensive side right now, but the burden falls on the quarterback.
I really wonder.
Bo Nix was dodging bullets from the weak offensive line, throwing to nobodies out there at the receiving
Why does
position.
he leave the pocket so quick?
Yeah,
he's trying to survive the year.
He wants to be alive on Sunday.
A lot of people say it was Bo Nix fatigued with the fans and how polarizing he was with Auburn fans, and he got worn down. But you really wonder if he just looked around and said, we don't have a lot of talent.
He very well could have, and he wants to play at the next level, so he's looking at that opportunity to put numbers up.
All right, he is Tyler Watts, the former Alabama quarterback, with us in studio each week, presented by his agency, the Watts Insurance Agency.
Tyler Watts Insurance, 205-664-4444. We always talk about it. If it's on your keychain, we insure it.
Yeah, but more than that, which is a great slogan. I like that. But the you can do anything. I love the independence, the freedom you have there. You don't get that with a lot of guys, right?
Well, let me insure your airplane.
Yeah, well.
You don't have one.
When I roll that out of the hangar, I'll do that.
The last guy that needs an airplane is this guy.
Would you fly with me if I had an airplane?
No, sir, I would not.
Okay.
Did you hear about his stake bet last night?
What was that?
Okay, let me set it up for you. LT loves the NFL. And I love college football. I enjoy the NFL, but I love college football. He loves the NFL, and he enjoys college football.
No. I love my college football Saturdays more than Sundays. I just like my 3 hours of Rams.
Yeah. So, but he was trumpeting the NFL game last night. I thought the college game was going to be more entertaining, despite where West Virginia and Virginia Tech is in their part of their history.
Yeah, not geographically.
And, it was Trubisky versus Brissett, not even two quarterbacks in neither one of those fan bases. And he said, I'll tell you what, there's about an 18-point difference in the over-under point spread. He would take the NFL game. I would take the college game, most points scored in the game. Seemed like an easy win for the college game, right? So I said, okay, I'll take that. And what was it, about how many points difference in the point spread? I mean, not the point spread, but the over-under.
It went off at 51 for yours. It went off at 38 for
yeah. So 51 is what Vegas says over-under for me, 38 for him.
Layup.
So, yeah. So
Not for Dunaway.
We're up. Late in the fourth quarter for both games, we're up. And, the college game ends.
College games end at 43.
33, 33-10 final.
It's a 23-17 sitting on 40 in the NFL game.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, after, a pass interference that got overturned, offsetting penalties, and the coach decided to kick a field goal, onside kick, the Browns recover, so I'm good. They're going to run out the clock. They get a first down, but
Coach takes off the headset, hands it to his guy.
So we're just 1-0 down away from it to be over with, but then they review it from up, and he's this much short. They add time on the clock. They do a 10-second runoff. They punt it out of bounds with 9 seconds left. There's only one play to run for Pittsburgh. What are you going to run from your own 6-yard line, Tyler? You're going to run throw it out to the edge and pitch it around. Yeah, so they start pitching it around, and they're going the wrong way. They pitch it around to the back of the end zone. They fall on a touchdown the other side, and I lose it.
Wow.
That's how he lost.
This is what I can never figure out about you, in all honesty. And I love you.
Yeah.
If George Costanza could figure out to do the exact opposite of everything he thought, why can you not?
Just go against your gut.
The problem is he's got to believe in it.
There was a brief period of time I did that. I mean, I have been 9 stakes up on him one time, but that was a brief period of time. He was at a very low point in his life. I was riding a heater. He wasn't paying attention, and I was up 9 stakes, but that's not where we are right now. Or most of this show history.
Bad run for him.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, that was a bad beat last night. Bad beat. Tyler, thanks for being with us, man.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Show being brought to you in part as well by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. You think I have problems. Imagine having problems like Rockstar at his house. Plumbing problems, he's had them. Cooling problems, he's had them. Heating problems, he's had them. He's called Hemp Hill so much that Adam and Chad's thought about putting an office inside Rockstar's house, right? Hemp Hill Services. They'll fix it. They'll fix it right. They'll fix it the first time, and they'll fix it at a fair price. Guys you can trust. They've trusted them since 1954 here in the Birmingham area. You can call Hemp Hill. 205-229-2090, 229-2090, or just remember the name Hemp Hill. Rockstar's Playhouse is next.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. There's still time before the weather changes to do something new in 2022. Ocean City, Maryland, and our friends at Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City is ready to welcome you. Kayak from Bayside Beach, swim in the Atlantic, dine at Bayview Bar and Grill, local golf packages, great restaurants, and a lot more. See everything online at residenceinnoc.com. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. It's time to do something different. Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City, Maryland.
Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Birmingham store. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have a perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Our job is to make sure your feet are happy. Visit the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Your feet will thank you.
After years searching for a classic jacket that was functional in the field and the city, Tom Beckby couldn't find one he liked, so he decided to make his own. Since designing that first jacket in 2015, Tom Beckby has continued to draw inspiration from natural settings to produce classic outdoor equipment with time-tested rugged materials. Visit the brand new Tom Beckby store in Mountain Brook Village, a local business with the goal of outfitting you for the outdoors here in Alabama and wherever the road takes you. Mountain Brook Village or online, TomBeckby.com. That's Tom, BECKBE.com.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280. For one of Birmingham's best beer selections since 2016, come check out our friends at the Beer Hog. With 64 local, regional, and international craft beers on tap, there is something for everyone. Plenty of TVs to watch all the games while you enjoy some of their fresh-baked pizzas and delicious appetizers. The Beer Hog also has wines on tap and a full bar with great signature cocktails. Don't forget about the large selection of packaged beer and growlers to go. Follow us on Facebook or just stop by the Beer Hog located 2408 Pelham Parkway.
Summer means cookouts and spending time with the family and friends in the backyard. Ryan Brown here. Nothing can ruin a party like mosquitoes. Wayne's environmentally safe Mosquito Plus solution safely and effectively eliminates mosquitoes. Plus, they provide protection against fleas and ticks, helping keep your outdoor entertainment spaces safe, comfortable, and pest-free for your family and your four-legged family members. Wayne's has turned my backyard oasis into my happy place. They can do the same for you. Give them a call, 866-WAYNES1, or callwaynes.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Our smooth and crisp game of the weekend is going to be in Rocky Top, Florida and Tennessee as the fall season rolls in on the Smoky Mountains. Smooth and crisp game of the week brought to you by our friends at Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila. It's the alcohol we're using in Drinks for Dunaway this week as well. Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila, the world's first clear multi-age tequila. Dobel Diamante is a blend of the extra añejo tequila, the añejo tequila, and the reposada tequilas, all aged in a new European and oak barrel, double filtered to remove color while producing a crystal clear spirit of character and smoothness. How many of you have tried the Dobel Diamante tequila yet in the chat room? Let us know. Go out and get some this weekend. It's crystal clear in appearance. It's smooth and crisp on the finish. It's Maestro Dobel, perfect for sipping or mixing with your tequila this weekend. Rockstar, let's go cut 5 first. Josh Heupel, just on the game days in town. Everybody's in town for Florida and Tennessee. Is that a problem for his guys?
Coach, you said a few times where you talked to your team earlier this week and said sort of embrace this opportunity because they've created it for themselves. I guess some coaches would probably be like, block all of it out, don't listen to any of it. Why did you do that? Why did you kind of point that out to your team to sort of embrace the stage that's going to be?
Yeah, because it's impossible to block out the noise in today's world. It's absolutely impossible. So they're going to see it and hear it. You can't let it affect what matters, which is your preparation. Everybody's going to want to win on game day. You got to do what it takes to win, and so I think that's important. Our kids should be and are excited about this one. It's always big when we play Florida, and so embrace that.
Yeah, I think it's a good approach. Don't try to, to act like it's not going on. Just ride the wave, man.
Well, this is an interesting rivalry because they've lost 16 of 17 to Florida. They've never been more than a 5-point or more favorite. They're 10.5 here. Never.
Both those things are so hard to believe. I mean, I've watched those games, but it is hard to believe Tennessee has lost that many to Florida and Alabama concurrently.
And let me give you something else that's going to blow your mind.
They're two biggest rivals.
More
really.
surprising with Florida because Florida has not been great.
Yeah, Alabama's been great, but still, at the same time, so in what is that now, 31 games between those two, they've won 1 out of 31 between Florida and Alabama. That's impossible.
Yeah, and I brought this up yesterday on the Players Club. I don't know if you heard it. I know Dunaway did. Anthony Richardson, as good as he looked in week 1, he has as many tackles as he has total touchdowns.
Yeah, I heard you say that. That is
crazy?
incredible.
And they are one of 3 teams that have yet to pass for a touchdown through 3 games, which is almost impossible in today's college football.
More on that, the quarterback having to make more tackles than throwing touchdowns. Billy Napier on what they need to eliminate in Rocky Top.
We got to eliminate the disaster plays. Does that make sense? I mean, we got to eliminate. That's the way I would describe it. Our teams, we've taken pride. We always say we're not going to give the opponent anything, right? We're going to make them earn everything that they get. And that's what's frustrating to me is I think we play right now. We give the other team a lot of things, right? All 3 phases of the game. And I think it's just a product of new systems, new way of doing things. So we got 11 players out there. It's the best game there is, right? Because it requires synchronization. It requires great communication. Players working together in combinations, all parts of the game, right? So I think we are making progress in a lot of areas of our team, but we're by no means look like what I would like us to look like eventually.
Yeah, eventually is people had fast forwarded after one game thinking it was going to be this year. For Billy Napier, it's probably going to be in year 2 or 3. We'll see what they do at Tennessee this week. Time now to get to Rockstar's Playhouse. Every week it's brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg Nelson, who loves Rockstar, loves the Playhouse every week, and he loves to help you with your roof. If you ever have your roof damaged, remember Greg from Pell City. If you need your roof inspected, remember Greg from Pell City. A free no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531, or just look him up on Facebook. It's Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing, bringing you Rockstar's Playhouse.
Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, come out and play. Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, come out and play.
Oh, the Gators!
Oh, that sounds swell. There's a big game this weekend. I want to apologize in advance. I had a bit of a endodontic work, and it's kind of hard to do my voice today. Very sore.
Do you go to the veterinarian for gator teeth?
No, I went to the endodontist.
Okay.
Why?
Well, you're an animal.
I'm a mammal.
I'm sorry.
Hey, what?
Actually, a reptile.
Yeah, it's
guys,
a reptile. What?
It's not besides the point.
Okay.
Gotta get it.
Yeah, are you identifying different now?
That's it. I'm up with the times.
Is that cup in the Gator store?
I like this guy.
We've got our jokes.
He's always on. Hey, what's the worst? What's the best time? Speaking of topical humor, what's the best time to go to the dentist?
When's the best time to go to the dentist?
2:30. Hey, where do rainbows go when they're bad?
Where do rainbows go where they're bad?
Prism. Wait. It's okay. It's a light sentence. Holy shit. Hey, what's the difference between light and hard?
What is the difference between light and hard? I don't know.
I can't sleep with the damn light on. Hey, real quick.
Wait, give me that one again.
Hey, what's the difference between light and hard?
I don't know. What?
I can't sleep with the damn light on. What did the drummer name his twin daughters?
What did the drummer name his twin daughters?
And a 1 and a 2.
Is there alcohol in that?
No, I think it's Pepsi Clear. Hey, tequila may not fix your problems, but it's worth a shot, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, it is.
How do you drown a hipster?
How do you drown a hipster?
You throw his ass in the mainstream. Oh, my God. It's all over the place. Is everybody feeling good tonight?
Oh, fantastic. How are you, Gary?
I'm good, good. Hey, I was going to tell a time traveling joke, but you guys didn't like it.
See, he's already told it to us and he's come back.
Oh, that's a dirty son of a bitch right there. Oh. Guys.
What?
My grief counselor died. He was so good, I don't even care.
I like that one.
Hey, what did the woman with no hands get for Christmas?
What did the woman with no hands get for Christmas?
Hell if I know. She hadn't opened the damn present yet.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah, it's just rough. You know, it's just hard. It's hard, you know?
It's hard.
Daniel Day-Lewis could do it with his feet.
Hey, cool. My left foot. Great film. But really happy film. You know, the doctor told me the other day, you know, you're going to be at peace soon. So I freaked out and I said, am I dying? And he said, no, your wife is. I'm in so much pain right now. In closing, guys, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Howie.
Howie who?
How are we going to hide this dead body?
Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, come out and play. Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, it's a Rockstar's Playhouse, come out and play. Let's have some fun.
Hard to sleep with the light on.
That is a good one.
Oh, you can't sleep with the light on.
You can't double the. It's in the punchline.
Yeah.
Can't sleep with the light on.
I can't sleep with the light on. Always love Gary the Gator. He just comes around a big Florida game weekend. There you go. Florida,
super
Tennessee.
Excited. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
By the way, the combination is Chop and Brett Favre.
Yeah, I get that. No,
Billy
but
Napier?
somebody
Yeah.
said Brett Favre and Aaron Hernandez in the chat room.
No, somebody sent us a
He's got Aaron
side-by-side
Hernandez
of he and Aaron Hernandez because
Yeah.
of the hair,
Yeah.
and it's a lot closer than Billy Napier would want it to be. I'll go and tell you.
When we come back, we got 4 downs today. LT has that for you. Part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Greystone Chiropractic.
They can get you straightened out, get your body properly aligned. They've done it for me. They've done it for my family. Dr. Lee, big Dolphins fan, so you know you can trust the guy. GreystoneChiropractor.com or 981-8090 to make an appointment at Greystone Chiropractic, Tattersall Park, just off Highway 119, off of 280 there, and the Element Wellness Center next door. IV vitamin therapy, it's right there in the same facility. When I say next door, I literally mean right there in the same facility, just through a door. IV vitamin therapy, cryotherapy, infrared sauna, red light therapy, holistic nutrition consulting, all those things and much more at Element Wellness, all part of Greystone Chiropractic. GreystoneChiropractor.com or 981-8090.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Done building your family? A vasectomy is a safe, simple, effective option for birth control. When it was my time to take the snip, I used my friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, and there's no better time for a vasectomy. It's a great reason to be off your feet and be on the couch during the game with the wife's approval. It's a quick, in-office procedure covered by most insurances. Urology Centers of Alabama, 16 convenient locations. Call 205-922-SNP. That's 205-922-7647.
Vulcan Tire and Automotive is hiring. If you want to take advantage of joining in with a local growing company in the automotive service industry, this is the opportunity for you. Hiring oil and tire technicians and more experienced mechanics. If you've got the talent and the desire, there is a spot for you at Vulcan Tire and Auto. Stop by one of their 4 locations and the manager on site can walk you through the pay scale, great benefits, and flexible work schedule. Get paid to build your future in the industry. Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com. When it's time to move, there's one name to remember: Crocker Moving Services, for all your moving needs, both residential and commercial, and they'll even pack for you. See all they offer at CrockerMovingServices.com. Owner Eric Crocker is a Marine, a Birmingham native, and a veteran of the Iraq War. Crocker Moving Services will use made-in-the-USA equipment, made-in-the-USA supplies, and veteran-operated whenever possible. And they'll move you anywhere in the continental United States. Check them out online right now, CrockerMovingServices.com. The long hours of summer are great for golf at the Jerry Pate designed Timberline Golf Club. The course is in fantastic condition, and if you don't have time for a round of golf, come use Timberline's TrackMan driving range. You can practice, play games, and play virtual golf all on the practice tee. Come enjoy your day on one of Alabama's top 10 courses you can play. It's Timberline Golf Club. Timberline is easy to get to just off I-65 at exit 228. Book tee times online at timberlinegc.com. Tee it up at Timberline.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Rockstar Variety magazine is reporting that Taylor Swift seems to be the front runner for the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show.
See who the sponsor
Yep,
is now?
that's a big development that gets Taylor Swift in the
So
mix.
Pepsi's out.
Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been the holdup. We've talked about it for years.
Yep.
So, as much as I like her, I don't know if I'm going to like her in that situation. You know what I mean?
Don't know he's fading on Taylor.
No, I'm just saying I don't know if I'm going to like her at the halftime show because
any band, because it's a medley of their songs.
Yeah, but also it just opens up for so much criticism if you're not out of this world. I mean, like Katy Perry was so flashy. I mean, that was such a great halftime show.
Oh, Dr. Dre, I'm not a big fan. That was a great halftime show.
Last year's may be the best of all time when it's all said and done.
Well, look, I mean, there's been some really bad ones. Adam Levine was terrible.
Featuring Maroon 5.
Yeah, I bet he won't be in this year's.
No. I think she'll do fine.
Yeah, but she'll have some collaborations. I mean, she's not just going to do it solo.
Never had the respect of Taylor Swift till I went and saw her perform.
Yeah. See, I like her so much, Rockstar, that I'm afraid she's going to get on that stage and underperform, and then it opens up all the haters to hate.
I would not doubt her.
Would you be a cameo from Kanye said, "I'm gonna let you finish, but let's do this song together"?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying they're going to hate?
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying there?
I don't know. It's nerve-wracking for a long-time Swiftie there. Part of our show being brought to you by
the Talladega Superspeedway, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. For tickets to the Yellowwood 500, it is Sunday, October 2nd, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Check out all the experiences they have there, like the Kids VIP experience presented by Children's of Alabama. Kids 12 and under can experience guided garage tours, pit box tours, driver intro, fist bump alley, and more. You can see that. You can reserve your spot in the campground, Get your garage passes, get your seats at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA for the Yellowwood 500 Sunday, October 2.
USC loses Romello Height. The Auburn transfer shoulder is going to require surgery, done for the year. At least Corey Foreman's starting to play well on that defensive line, the 5-star recruit. USC's got the test on the road at Oregon State this weekend. We told you earlier, Missouri's Elijah Young, one of their running backs that gets carries, will not play at Auburn. That's an interesting development there. And Kayshon Boutte will skip the LSU game this week as they play host to New Mexico, 6:30 ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus this weekend. Should be an easy win for LSU. He's attending the birth of his first child.
I saw that.
So good for Boutte. A little Boutte coming in. Let's do 4 downs, brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tires.
4 locations, soon to be that 5th location in Pell City. Anything you need bumper to bumper for you and your family, they can handle, from brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. For more information, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
First down.
What happens first? Kenny Pickett starts for the Steelers, or Brian Harsin is unemployed?
The new Gus Malzahn. I would say Harsin unemployed.
You got 9 days now before Pickett maybe plays his first game.
Yep. If they've got a good offensive line in front of him, can they call them the Pickett fence?
I guess they could.
Y'all think on that for a minute. Yeah. Nobody rushed to the T-shirts yet.
I think Auburn wins the game tomorrow. So
Harsin survives another
they
weekend.
should win the game tomorrow. I'm not sold. I would not feel confident saying Auburn.
Well, it feels like, here's what it feels like. All this stuff that seems to be going in the wrong direction. Crap game last year. Quarterback hurt. Last week. Quarterback hurt. He's not going to play. Quarterback looks like he's opting to shut it down for the year. You're stuck with a quarterback that's never played and a quarterback that can't throw. It feels like all that adds up to a loss, which generally means you win the game going away for whatever reason.
I don't know. I got a feeling that Auburn might lose this game. If they lose the game, let's just say, is he done tomorrow?
Yes, I think he's done Sunday. Yeah.
I think he's done after his next loss.
I'm going to go Harsin then.
Yeah, I think he wins tomorrow. Pickett starts the next game for Pittsburgh, then Harsin.
So you're taking Pickett?
I'm taking
I'll
Pickett.
take Harsin.
Yeah. Okay.
Second down.
Be a fun steak bet.
Yes,
got
most
too many
of them
out there
will.
right now.
SEC road team with better chance of winning outright, Missouri or Florida?
I will go Missouri. Florida's playing, obviously, a better team than what Auburn is. Missouri is playing a team that is injured, crippled, just a lot going on. It's going to be a flat environment for Auburn, in my opinion, flat crowd. So I think Missouri doesn't, have to pay the penalty for playing at Jordan-Hare. It's going to be a juiced environment in Neyland.
Florida's a lot better than Missouri, but the competition and where it is tougher on Florida. I think Missouri has a better chance,
Yeah, I agree.
And I think stadium environment is massive in this discussion because that's going to be tough for Florida.
Third down.
Which top 10 has a better chance of losing outright? Clemson at Wake or Oklahoma at home to Kansas State?
You've already made your pick on that one,
Yeah,
Brian.
I think Clemson's going to run Wake.
Well, I'll go ahead and give you a preview. Right there at the bottom of my board says Clemson -7 at Wake. So you know how much I like them. So I guess in that case, neither would be my answer. I'd have to go Kansas State.
I feel like a neither is in the situation.
Or I guess Oklahoma would be my answer.
So I'm asking which is better to lose. I feel like Clemson has a better chance to lose for me, but I don't think either one. I think both win and both cover.
Fourth down.
Bruce Springsteen, 73 years old. Better career, Springsteen or Jimmy Buffett, two that I do not like at all.
I mean,
it's Jimmy Buffett. It's Bruce Springsteen.
I don't know. That's
Jimmy
going to be
Buffett.
close.
I mean, now look, the more respected artist is definitely going to be Springsteen, but Buffett has made.
Is this poll question?
A fortune.
Sure.
I mean, we can throw it out there if you want to, but
Better career, Bruce Springsteen or Jimmy Buffett? It's a Cowan Equipment poll question. Throw it up there, Taylor, at Next Round Live.
I mean, I don't know what Springsteen has done outside of music and acting, I guess, or music and I don't know. Has he done acting?
No.
Or is that just Stephen Van Zandt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the business enterprise of Jimmy Buffett, it's remarkable what the guy has done in business just based on his name and the name of his most famous
the
song.
net worth. I bet
the net worth's going to be outrageous.
I bet it's 2-1 Jimmy Buffett.
Probably so. Yeah.
I would say that the boss has still got $250 million.
But now Springsteen is the far more respected singer, obviously. Musician.
I mean, if I had to go to one of the concerts,
Springsteen's first hit, 74 maybe? 1974. He's been doing it that long?
Blinded by the Light.
I think I might go to a Jimmy Buffett concert as opposed to a Springsteen.
I'm not the biggest Springsteen guy
I love
myself.
Springsteen. Love Springsteen. I don't dislike Buffett. Love Springsteen.
$600 million for Jimmy Buffett. It's incredible.
Yeah, I was guessing $250 million for
the guy
Springsteen.
cannot even sing, and he's made $600 million.
All you do is have one good idea.
I know. I applaud him. $500 million for Springsteen. It's a little closer than we thought.
Yeah, he writes a lot of his songs, right?
He's won Academy Awards and Grammys.
Yeah.
How good does Springsteen really sing, though?
For him to be 73 years old and him still putting on 2.5, 3-hour concerts with the energy he has.
Yeah, but he's not thought
too.
of as a great vocalist, though, is he, Bruce Springsteen?
Well,
he's just a good
counter, man. He's the
songwriter.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Glory Days. Do you like Glory Days?
Anything he does live in concert. If you've never watched him live in concert, or
I gave my tickets away.
Not necessarily there in concert live, but watching his live shows on video is so much better than his studio stuff for me anyway.
Oh, he's a great entertainer. They're both great entertainers.
And I'll never, I admired the fact that, he was willing, he and a handful of stars shortly, 3 days, I think, after 9/11 to come up there and do a benefit concert and start to heal the country. I mean, Springsteen, if I had not liked him before that, would have won me over that night as well.
He also has, I don't know how it happened, but Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine is one of his guitarists now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were playing a show in Australia a couple years ago, and they opened the show with Highway to Hell, and him and Eddie Vedder traded verses. It was, Bruce can get after it. Being 73 years old.
I do like that he does, because remember he did, when he was in New Zealand, he did Lord.
Yeah, he's like, it's one of those things where he pays a tribute to an
I
artist.
just don't like his music. I like Streets of Philadelphia is the only song I like.
What's the one where you're getting on a bus, you're going to the boardwalk in New Jersey?
Atlantic City.
Yeah. It's a good song, covered by a lot of people. That's Four Downs, brought to you by Vulcan Tires.
Again, 4 locations, soon to be that 5th location in Pell City. Anything you need bumper to bumper, they can handle, locally owned and operated. Great guys. For more information, VulcanTireAndAuto.com.
Hey, don't forget, Nichols Outfitters getting you ready for dove season right now. 12, 20, 28 gauge shotgun shells are in stock. You need to hurry. Demand through the roof this dove season. Get set for dove season with the guys who know it well. Nichols Outfitters, I-65, exit 242 in Pelham, online, nicholsoutfitters.com.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
There's still time before the weather changes to do something new in 2022. Ocean City, Maryland, and our friends at Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City is ready to welcome you. Kayak from Bayside Beach, swim in the Atlantic, dine at Bayview Bar and Grill, local golf packages, great restaurants, and a lot more. See everything online at residencenoc.com. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. It's time to do something different. Residence Inn by Marriott, Ocean City, Maryland.
In a word, it's chaos.
You'll have to see it to believe it. Whoever said that must have been talking about Talladega. It's a place where chaos mixes with speed, where a town turns into a city, and a weekend becomes a lifetime of memories. It's a tradition like no other.
What a wild finish.
NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, October 1st and 2nd.
Bubba Wallace, the winner at Talladega.
Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
I'm Donald Trump, and I love Alabama. As many of you know, there are few issues facing our nation as important as election integrity and election fraud. This is why the people of the great state of Alabama must work together to make it easier to vote and harder to cheat. So get out, register to vote, and get a photo ID so you can make your voice heard and decide the future of our great country. Thank you.
Scott Powell, the executive director of the Alabama Head Injury Foundation.
The number of brain injuries in the state has increased every year from the previous year. There are about 4,100 new brain injuries every year in the state of Alabama that require an overnight hospital stay.
If you'd like to help out, please give us that information.
You can head to our website at ahif.org, and we are very thankful for any support that anyone can give.
It's the Alabama Head Injury Foundation from Huntsville to Mobile, wherever you watch us in the state. Great work, Scott. Thanks for being with us.
This is your home. You want a brighter future and a community that's united by action and commitment. And united starts with you. We are United Way. And for almost 100 years, we have served people from all walks of life. That's our united commitment. United starts with you. Give to United Way of Central Alabama.
Football season is back, and so are tailgates. It's time to win that tailgate with Champy's world-famous fried chicken right on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and his winning team will open up the doors so you can dine in or an easy-to-go pickup when you order at champyschicken.com. At Champy's, you experience southern staples like chicken on a stick and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales that are to die for. Hand-cut chicken tenders and a whole lot more right on your way home or to the big game. Highway 119 in Alabaster. For Blues, Brews, and Bird, it's Champy's Chicken.
For more than 40 years, Red Wing Shoes has been helping the hardworking people of Alabama. This is why Red Wing Shoes has created the 3-step comfort solution. Step 1, a certified fit specialist will use a 3D scan to electronically measure your feet and arches. Step 2, the fit specialist helps you get the appropriate footwear for your occupation. Step 3, customize your boot or shoe with a Red Wing orthotic. Whether you have a high arch or flat feet, Red Wing has comfort solutions for you. So experience comfort at its best. Visit one of the Red Wing Shoe stores located in Pelham or Trussville.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 ends the show. Don't forget you can vote right now. Go play, not vote, at nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com. Again, you go 3-0, you get a ball in the bucket. The more balls in the bucket, chance to win the grand prize at the end of the year. It's brought to you first, before we do the standings, by our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings.
12 locations in the Birmingham, Central Alabama area, including those new locations in Chelsea and Oxford. 20 years in the market, serving up the absolute best atmosphere and wings around. The place to be for football Saturdays and Sundays. And don't forget, takeout is available through the Buffalo Wild Wings app.
All right, updated standings. It has been LT's world, and we're living in it. Brown is close, though. LT's got 1 ball in the bucket, as you can see by the 1 football there. The only one to go 3-0. Brown's been very consistent every week, 2-1.
That's the way I like it.
And I've been very consistent every week, 1-2. So it's worked out really well there. 7-2, 6-3, and I'm on the bottom at 3-6. So you want to start at the top or the bottom?
Let's start at the bottom. I'm in the middle either way.
Let's start at the bottom then. I'm gonna have a familiar name at the bottom from last week, but here we go. I'm going to take Tennessee minus the 10.5 as they play Florida. I think we're looking for a CBS blowout here, maybe. Ball's that good. Michigan State plus 3 at home versus Minnesota. I like the Spartans coming back from the loss on the West Coast, getting home and getting points at home in West Lansing. Wish it was 3.5, but I'll take the 3. I think Michigan State wins it outright. And I'm going to take Georgia Tech. Following the worst pick ever.
You never learn, do you?
Plus 20.5 on the road at UCF.
You got one thing right. They ain't got wings.
I was going to say, man's got no wings.
That's
Lieutenant Dan.
That's thanks to Ole Miss.
Yeah, well, I was running out of time there. Forgot the wings.
You ain't got no wings, Lieutenant Dan.
Every time UCF scores.
Bombauer even has wings.
Every time UCF scores, a Yellow Jacket will get us wings.
I'm going to go down to Troy, Rockstar's favorite college town. I'm going to take the Trojans plus the 3. Marshall, everybody was talking about how great Charles Huff was doing. What happened to them after that Notre Dame game?
They lost.
They lost to Bowling Green. They're going to lose again, back-to-back. Troy coming off that heartbreaking loss. NC State plays Clemson next week. This is your old look ahead. Shut it down early game. UConn's better than some think. Plus the 39. Give me UConn. And speaking of Clemson, they ain't looking ahead to anybody. They're making a point at Wake. Clemson minus the 7.
So I have got Iowa minus 7.5 against Rutgers. It's going to be a disgusting game. Total's 33.5. Rutgers is not going to be able to score on this Iowa defense.
You want me to tell you something remarkable about that game? Rutgers has announced today it's a sellout. How did they sell that game out?
It'll be a quiet crowd because they won't score. Rutgers got a good defense under Schiano, but I do think that this will be like a 21-3, 21-7 type game.
I mean, this the hook that scares me there, because if Iowa scores 7, can they score any more points?
Texas A&M minus 2.5. This has become way too trendy. I do think Arkansas is the better team. I have completely flipped on this game.
Gig 'em.
Yeah, I just need Max Johnson to play well. And then finally, I agree with Dunaway. I've got Tennessee minus 10.5. I think that could be a blowout, especially if Anthony Richardson that we saw last week against South Florida shows up.
Dan Mullen looking a lot better about AK-15. Inconsistency kept him off the field when Mullen was the coach.
Mullen been better in studio than I thought he would be.
Really good last night on the telestrator.
That's what I was going to say. I caught that too, Dunaway. He's been better than I thought he would be.
If you were Arizona State or Nebraska, would you hire him?
I would try to in a heartbeat, yeah.
Yeah. And I've never been a huge fan, but I would too. I'd hire him. Thanks to everybody who does so much tremendous work behind the glass today. You guys are fantastic. All the ones out in our social media lobby, you guys terrific. Thank you so much. We are back with you again 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with our game day show, 9 to 10 on our video platform. And then once or twice, you never know with us, throughout the night, set your alerts on all the video platforms so you'll know when we're live. And then we're back with you here on this platform, 9 a.m. Central on Monday. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.